Hello and welcome to episode 117 of the DaebakCast. This is a weekly podcast where the three of us come together each week to talk about K-pop and whatever is current in the industry. This week I'm back. It's hard to schedule recording here because I have like 5 roommates and they need to sleep and the time difference and
It'll be
all
easier
kind of
soon.
messed up, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. In like a week's time, like less than a week actually now.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
3 days.
Anyways, this week we got a couple album reviews. We're gonna talk about a new Korean Netflix series, and wait, is that it?
And you're going to talk about what you've been doing for the past month.
Yeah. So yeah, status update on my part as well. I think people definitely deserve to hear about that. And yes, without further ado, as always, I'm joined by Nate.
Kill it. Let's seal it. The illest. Good job, BTS. Trying to be thug.
And also, as
Wearing
always,
pink in the music video.
I'm joined by Andrew, who usually has 3 things.
Number one, was definitely a busy weekend for K-pop and just Asian music in general. We had Coachella this weekend, aka the convergence of rich people / hipsters that go there to take pictures and not listen to music. But so yeah, we had Blackpink, we had Hyukoh, and we had the J-pop group, my favorite J-pop group, Perfume, doing Coachella weekend. Apparently there was a fire or something, but I mean, not. I think it was just like somewhere in like the campground. But I mean, I think I'm interested in seeing like if more K-pop groups are going to do Coachella now, just because it's like a thing, and I want to know how many like actual people like of the Coachella attending sort of demographic who actually pay attention to K-pop. That's actually sort of an interesting sort of thing, because I mean, if you're a K-pop fan, you probably can't justify the. Like, if you just wanted to see Blackpink, you could probably just see them, like, at their concert, as opposed to, like, paying, like Coachella is, like, almost $1,000 just for the tickets alone.
Yep.
Not to mention, the hotels there are god-awful expensive, because, like, Indo Valley is just, like, in the middle of nowhere, so, like, if you're going to Coachella anyway, and that's not bad, but if you're going to Coachella specifically to see, like, Perfume or Hyukoh or Blackpink, just don't do it. That's why it's not cost-effective at all.
Not unless you like other artists that are attending.
Yeah, basically, you have to like get your money's worth out of it, not just see like one K-pop artist. Number 2 on the docket, some sports related stuff. Literally just happened a couple hours ago. Growing up, I was a very big fan of golf. I followed like Tiger Woods. I wrote Tiger Woods a letter talking about how he's my favorite golfer. I even had my mom draw like a golf ball on the letter. And he never responded to me. But anyway, I still love Tiger Woods. And
He's too busy cheating on his wife.
Oh,
Yep.
today was the first day. This is the first time he's won a Master in almost 11 years, or a major tournament. He won the Masters. Crazy thing. He was down like 3. He was down 3 strokes with about like 6 or 7 holes left to go, and then he made a huge comeback. So just really proud of Tiger for finally getting another major win. I never thought I'd see another. I never thought I'd see another one, in all honesty, because he's like 43 years old. He has like back injuries. Like he competition stuff now. So it was crazy to see him take another one. And number 3, just really important happy news. I've mentioned a bunch of times about like my friends at I Love Dance, where I'm taking my dance classes now. I don't know if I mentioned on the show before, but they, some of the students and some of the teachers went to, and participated in the JTBC show called Stage K, where they did a cover of an Icon song, and I think they won a competition or something. So yeah, our friend DJ is a part of I Love Dance. He was on there. The person that's teaching me the choreography for, or the teacher for TXT Crown was there as well. So I'm just really happy for them. They killed it. They really killed it. I hope that they blow up even more, because I mean, they've been doing stuff like crazy stuff as it is. Like they did the G Idol flash mob last year, And then this now getting actually on Korean TV and everything and winning like the competition was just really awesome for DJ and the rest of them. So congrats.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll get more opportunities after this now.
Yeah, definitely. I watched the clip earlier, and everyone seemed like all the judges were like, "Whoa!"
Yo, freaking Dara was shook. It was amazing. Yeah, and then they got to like love scenario with them as well on stage. So I'm really happy that they got to do that. Those are my three things. I guess minor programming notes before we go into the actual show. For the next week or so, we're gonna be over in Korea and Japan. So our plan is in terms of like trying to figure out recording, we'll probably just have like really short shows because one, we're going to be busy, and two, we don't have full editing setups that I have back here at home. So for the next couple of weeks, it's probably after this week, it's going to be like short, like 1 or 2 topic episodes essentially, just so we can get it out as fast as possible. But I guess to make up for that, we'll try to or maybe organize a live stream or something just so you could check up on us. Maybe we'll do a mukbang. Are we really gonna do a mukbang?
That was the plan. Yeah, we gotta do
Let's
a
do
mukbang.
it.
What can we order? What's actually like mukbang worthy like food
Just
that we can order?
everything.
Everything.
All, like jjajangmyeon, fried chicken.
Can we get some tteokbokki? Yeah, I need some tteokbokki.
Just gotta order all of the random Korean food.
Okay,
that's
so
like takeout standard.
Yeah, so we'll try to set that up. But like we've been talking about this trip forever. We're about to go. I'll see how much I can do in terms of like coverage or whatever. But be hype, because this is
It's
like
actually crazy though. We've been
This is-
talking about me going to Korea and you guys visiting me like basically since we met.
2016. We've been talking about this for 3 years, and it's happened. Like by the time you see this, we're about to leave. Like if you're watching like the full episode, I would have left already. So, like, yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, that's next week. So let's get into the things. Wait, who are you again?
Yes. And I'm Jacob, hashtag no blown out because I left it in the United States. And let's get into the first review, which is BTS Map of the Soul Persona.
You
Which is
never see
definitely
it
an epic high
coming.
reference. No.
Yes.
Epic high reference. It's amazing. Okay, anyways, that part of it's amazing, but we'll get into my actual thoughts on the
No.
album.
People are gonna click off the video now because he just said that.
I'm not a hater. I am a fan. I will explain myself.
All right, you're
Um,
reading it, so go ahead.
Yeah, so anyways, sorry for the cut, technical difficulties. Anyways, we can start off with the first track, which is Intro Persona. And honestly, I thought this was a really, really strong intro to the album, and it kind of like sets a nice vibe. Like it got me really hyped into like upon entering, because like Rapmon's rap is always awesome. Like honestly, I think this is some of his like best flows like ever in my opinion. And when I first heard it, I thought this was like, oh, is this gonna be like the next Cypher or something? But no, it's like it's entirely him, which I was really surprised by. I really, really like the beat he's using. Like again, like I want this to become a trend, like rapping over like electric guitar with like pop and R&B samples and stuff like that. Like it's really cool, and not everyone does it. Like I feel like people are still so like trapped in using, like no pun intended, in using trap beats all the time, even in like the current year. But like, yeah, I wish this was more prevalent in K-pop, and I'd love to see BTS tackle this sort of thing like in like a full like actual song.
Yeah. Yeah, so wait, this is the right order. Yeah. Now I'm forgetting the order. Jacob usually forgets the order. Huh?
Yeah, go
No,
for
I
it.
meant like you. Yeah, I usually go after Jacob. But yeah, I thought with the samples and the beat, it definitely had a bit of an epic high feeling, which was
Yeah.
nice because obviously, like you said, the album name clearly alludes to epic high. I thought the guitar was a nice touch. I thought like you said, RM killed it. And it was great to hear it over like the rock beat.
Yeah.
With all the guitars and stuff. I thought this was a really good way to start the album. It's for the music video. I liked the school drawing art stuff. But otherwise it's probably like one of their least like budget heavy MVs.
It's not
which
really.
I'm fine with.
It's not
'cause
really
it
a
fits,
proper
like, the,
music.
but yeah,
video.
it's the intro track or whatever.
Yeah, it's like because you know how
like,
like BTS has a billion like
prequel
teaser video,
music
like
video.
yeah, that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Well, but it is the whole song. It's a music video.
I mean,
for
yeah,
it.
they did the same thing with
but
like
it's-
Euphoria and
Yeah, they do that every album. But yeah, like I'm fine with it being like this lower budget, like not as insane music video because it fits the styles, like the old school style song anyway.
Yeah, I love this. Specifically just because like BTS has sort of made it a name for themselves in terms of for their live concerts that they use a live band and live instrumentation, or they make live mixes of all of their songs essentially, as opposed to just doing backing tracks, the same thing that you see on like, I don't know, just like live stages. So yeah, it's basically like, yeah, this is a song that definitely lends itself to that type of style, incorporating that guitar over like this like sort of boom bat type beat, again like that throwback type thing. Definitely calls back to like their inspirations. Definitely Epic High definitely falls under that. So this is basically like a Cypher Part 5 or Cypher Part 6 if you consider Mic Drop as a Cypher. Like yeah, basically
No.
Mic Drop is it should be. It should Mic Drop definitely should count as a cipher, or it's an unofficial cipher because it essentially is.
Nope. Well, if it is a cipher, it's the worst cipher.
No, it's not.
Hot take, but yes.
Anyway,
it is.
yeah. So
all the
yeah,
other ciphers are better.
Yeah, this song I definitely enjoyed a lot. Great way to open the album with. So yeah, this definitely sort of set the tone in terms of like the style or like the sort of mood that they wanted to set here. So this is probably one of the favorites for me, between this and maybe one other track towards the end.
All right, so next we have the title track "Boy with Love," which is featuring Halsey, which was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Overall, I think this is a really catchy and fun like pop song. I think the song is like, it definitely has the like real potential to get some like American airplay. Like I think this is definitely something that'll fit well on the radio, and people would, like the general public, it would fit their palate well, I think. In America, that is. Especially with the Halsey feature, like I think it's much more apparent on the like album version.
Yeah,
like you can barely hear her on the MV.
I couldn't hear her. I couldn't hear her at all on the MV. In all honesty,
All like in the music video, all I could hear on was the
yeah.
And that's it. Like yeah, like I really like the inclusion of the female vocals in the chorus, but overall I don't know, I just feel like the feature was kind of unnecessary, but I see why they probably did it for like publicity reasons and stuff like that. Or maybe they just wanted to collaborate with each other and it was just like they just did it. Yeah, it's a really good catchy song, but I don't feel that it does anything in the way of like reinventing the wheel. Like it's kind of just standard, I guess. Like it's a good song and I'll listen to it, but it's not like the type of innovation I want to see from them is not there.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I thought this was much better than Idol. It's still not what I got into BTS for. But it's similar to stuff that I actually liked from the Love Yourself series, like Magic Shop and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought them doing like a cute, like summer style song, actually something I'm okay with. Halsey feature, I really liked. I liked hearing a female vocal like accompanying them, and I thought her part's really catchy. And yeah, like you said, I thought it was weird that the music video didn't really have her on it when the actual track has her a lot more prominent. Like her parts, she has more parts, and it seems like they're brought forward more. I like the guitar and how the synths follow the vocals. The only downside for the actual song, I would say, is I don't know what the hell Suga was doing, because his rap is really weird and like I don't know what, like at one point he goes like almost like Nicki Minaj sounding, like really weird. I don't know, it's just just sounded bad. I did not like his part at all. Like his rap was fine.
I didn't think it
but just
sounded bad.
His tone was
I don't think it
just
sounded
what he was
bad.
doing.
It just didn't sound like him.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
The beginning half of his rap.
It bothered me. I know Sam was bothered by it in Discord too, and I agree with her. It was just weird. Yeah, it's not like Suga's bad at rapping or anything. It just didn't sound like Suga. Like, I don't know what he was doing. For the music video, I thought the styling was good. But once again, like, actually for the full music video, this seemed a lot less like crazy than they've been doing in the past. Like, it was very basic sets and stuff. And the choreo is fine, but it didn't seem like too crazy or anything.
So yeah, as a big fan, or as someone who is familiar with Halsey's music prior to listening to this, yeah, I was surprised seeing that she got the feature, but that's a perfect feature because she definitely has a really good voice that fits the style of song that they're going with here. This is produced by, the production team included the likes of Lindgren and Melanie Fontana again. They've been the recurring sort of people this year with TXT's Crown and Bon Bon Chocolat by Everglow. So I love the production style, but I'd say and this might get me some shit, but I'd say in all honesty, maybe what makes this song kind of fall flat in comparison to something even like Idol or like the previous singles off of the Love Yourself trilogy. I feel like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, the vocals kind of let the song down to some degree. And I know BTS isn't like, that's sort of the thing, like BTS isn't like the greatest vocal group of all time or whatever, but I do still expect like a lot more out of it, and that's probably the one thing that sort of lets this song down. I feel like is if it weren't, I'm fine with the Halsey feature just because I feel like if it didn't have her vocals towards it, the song would have felt a bit more bland, in all honesty, which is why I like listening to this album version a lot more than I do.
Yeah, me too.
Watching the music video, just because when I first watched the music video, I was like, wow, I can barely hear these vocals, or the vocals don't really go anywhere in terms of the chorus.
Yeah, in Discord, we're like, is Halsey even in this?
Yeah, it's a weird decision because I mean, she shows up in the music video, like she actually does like a bit of the choreography and everything.
I don't know why they didn't just play this version.
Yeah, so why are they trying to hide her vocals? I mean, maybe like they're afraid of pissing off people. They're like, I don't want to listen to Halsey. I want to listen to like BTS or whatever. But I mean, that's the point of a feature where you're supposed to hear who's featuring on the song. So yeah, if they were to basically just like the perfect mix would be the music video with the album version of like the song. That's how I'd fix it essentially. But I mean, that's the thing, because I do really like the vibe that they've got going for it. And again, I feel like we've been people that have been prominently in favor of BTS incorporating more guitar rhythms in all aspects to their music, and that definitely answers it. But yeah, there is some aspect of it I feel that falls a bit flat. In terms of the music video, I'm just in love with their just visual style. Definitely between like the past year or so, they've just gotten really into this pastel sort of color palette, just like very, very, very bright, like pinks. There's even like some neon signs and everything to it. It's a far cry from what like the sort of like emo like type of like weird crazy MV style that they were doing back in like 2018 2017 sort of thing. So I do appreciate this more, but yeah, the choreography didn't do anything for me all too much. And I mean, they probably tried to make it a bit more easier because obviously they have to incorporate Halsey in some parts of it. Also obviously because
it makes it better for live vocals too. So.
Live vocals, and like we were talking about this off camera, but yeah, we watched they performed this live on SNL, which is their debut stage. They performed it live on SNL, and SNL stage is very tiny. Like, it's a very small sound stage. Like, so the formations, like, they were literally, like, right up next to each other at some points, so they can't really do crazy choreography. And also, with fixed cams, or like they only have so many cameras to sort of capture live performances, because most of the time live performances on places like SNL or Jimmy Kimmel or like talk show sort of things, they're not built for K-pop, so like they have such a hard time following them, like when there's like a lot of like complicated dance moves, so that's probably another sort of like reason as to why they didn't go too crazy with it. But I mean, would I put this over something like Idol? No, but I mean, I still do enjoy it as a song. In all honesty, I'm a big fan of fun BTS as opposed to just like super like emo or super like hype BTS to some degree. I'm glad that they're still able to be a fun group in that sort of way.
Yeah, for me, I really like the song. Again, like it's a song I'm going to listen to and I'm gonna like have fun listening to. It's something you could work out to, or something you could dance to, something you could sing along to. The problem I have with it is not with the song. It's the fact that I feel like there's nothing about this song that makes it inherently like BTS. Like I feel like anyone could perform this song and it would be the
If
same
anything,
feeling.
it sound, maybe it's just because of the knowledge I have prior to this, but it sounds like something that TXT would do than
Maybe.
than BTS, in all honesty. Just because TXT
like,
has that kind of like fun vibe going for them as well. So
the thing is, like with BTS, I want them to like they don't need to make like super egotistical, like crazy fucking like super meaningful whatever like music. It's just like I want to see them be really experimental and like use their position of like at this point for me I feel like their fans will be happy with whatever they release. So I feel like they could use this opportunity to experiment and I don't know, like move the genre forward, you know what I mean? Like
But I mean-
I think right now because the opportunity with breaking into America, I think they're playing too safe. I think they should do the opposite and do something very like different from what they've normally done. Like in the past, like the stuff that I like. I'm not telling them to go back to that, but like back then one of the things I really liked about BTS is that nobody sounded like them.
now everyone does.
Like they had a very like they need to be the ones, like they're the ones who are on the forefront of the genre. Like I think they really are the ones who need to be pushing things forward. But like the last like including this one, like 3 albums or so, I think they're playing it way too safe and trying to just be what I guess American audiences would expect them to be, rather than showing them like I'm not telling them I'm not telling them to be like, oh, we're the best thing ever.
No, but the thing is,
But
though,
it's
like Idol was so different from anything that they've done before, and you guys didn't like it. Like literally, Idol they cited that it's inspired by like South African sort of like music, and that's definitely something that they pulled like completely out of nowhere. So I do think they have
I'm not.
I feel
I'm
like
not
that was
saying
way
that-
more
I'm
expensive.
not that- Yeah. I agree with that. Idol, I just didn't like the song. That was the end of it. But with like other tracks on the album, I just feel like it's especially so on this album. I think everything just radio friendly, I guess. Maybe that's just my main problem with it. I just feel like in the position they're at, they can do anything and people will still like it. So I feel like they should use this opportunity to, I don't know, I guess like make the music they want. Maybe this is what they want to do, but I don't know.
I mean, I guess to sort of like draw parallels to American music, I think I said this something before towards the last time we reviewed them, where I made the comparison to like BTS and like My Chemical Romance, where My Chemical Romance just got so entrenched in the whole like Black Parade thing, and they were all Black Parade.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to make like everything just like a spectacle, and it has to be like all this like costume and elaborate sort of stuff. And then when they went back to Danger Days, they were like, okay, we want to have fun being a rock band again, because they missed sort of that aspect of it. And I feel, and that's why I'm not entirely sort of like on their case about like how the sort of direction they went with this album, because they have gone a bit like too in the weeds with these essentially concept albums, or just like with like the whole like BTS lore sort of thing. I mean, pretty much save for
That's
save
not a
for like DNA. Save for DNA, pretty much almost every one of their singles has had like these like deep, meaningful like emo music videos, and I feel like they're gonna get bored of that after a certain point. So
yeah.
I don't mind them returning to this fun style of song that isn't necessarily too rooted in like deep, meaningful lyrics or whatever. Just make fun music again. I mean, that was the genesis of BTS. I mean, like just making this like fun, enjoyable music in that sort of way. So that's why I'm not too hard on them for this, if anything, because it does feel like they're trying to go back to their roots in a way of just trying to become a regular old boy group instead of just this sort of like crazy,
I mean,
like deep like lore type thing.
Yeah, I thought about the same thing. It's just like I'm kind of at odds with myself as well. Whereas like on one hand, like they have done what I'm asking for before. Like they've already done it. They've already done the experimentation with like and stuff like that with on an album like Wings, for example. Like that's their best album easily. But at the same time, like now I feel like it's getting too plain, and I feel like also again like with them being at the center of everything, I think I don't know. Maybe I'm placing too much pressure on them, but I just feel like they have a responsibility to the genre to keep pushing things forward.
Well, I mean, they kind of already did their part. I mean, if I feel like if it wasn't for a group like BTS, we wouldn't be getting stuff that.
Of course,
groups from like
SM,
groups from like SM or JYP or even YG wouldn't be as experimental as they are if it wasn't for groups like BTS pushing the envelope or sort of exposing
who
people
knows?
to
Maybe
this
somebody
style
else's
of music.
turn now.
Yeah, so
maybe it is someone else's turn now. But yeah,
I think that's the thing. Maybe they just want to just like do music that they enjoy again instead of just feeling the need to sort of push boundaries in that sort of way, because they have pushed the boundaries, like unquestionably at this point. So maybe that's sort of the thing we have to look into.
Anyways, third song, Microcosmos, spelled with K's.
Microcosmos. I don't know why. Yeah, all the spelling on this entire freaking album.
Piano pieces.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Anyways, I really like the gentle feeling like it starts off with, which like builds up into the chorus, which then like explodes after like the short build up that kind of goes in there. But again, like once again, I think it's a catchy song, and I think it would get really good play on amazing American radio. I really love in the last chorus as well, like the high note like ad libs. I thought that made it really nice. It was like pretty hype. So again, I think it's a quality track. I think it's catchy and fun, but I don't really see the innovation. But again, we've covered this, so I'll try not to keep harping on them through the whole review.
I love this song. This is actually my favorite song.
I like it a lot as well.
I really like the chill, underwatery like synths every time I hear that type of synths in songs. I thought there was a really good line distribution at the beginning, giving different members with like different vocal timbres lines after each other and like layered well. So they were really mixed in, like the deeper voices and the higher voices and stuff like that. Vocals during the chorus are fantastic, and I thought it was a really good addition to like add guitar, and the song just builds more and more. The beat gets more intense. There's like guitar and bell and synth melodies like thrown into on top of the overall synth line that get added in throughout. So yeah, I just love everything about this song. It's easily my favorite.
Yeah, I was in love with this song the first second I heard it, because this is BTS's version of like an 80s like pop song. If you really think about it, like you can draw comparisons to stuff like Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, or anything that like by Duran Duran or like Bryan Adams. Like that's the type of feel that they're going for in terms of like the guitar, or like that type of sound that they're going with. And I immediately recognized, and I almost started flipping out just because I never thought I'd hear BTS do a song like this. Coincidentally, like in terms of like biggest boy groups in the world, One Direction actually put a song out like this as well, like very similar, sort of like 80s throwback type song called Stockholm Syndrome, probably one of my favorite One Direction songs. So it's kind of interesting to see BTS go down a similar sort of route. But I think, yeah, it's a good song for them because it plays to their strengths in terms of like what they're capable of as vocalists and what terms of like how they're able to sort of incorporate these like group instrumentals and that sort of way. So yeah, I was really happy with this song. Like if this could have been a single easily, I really enjoyed this. Or this was definitely a highlight of the album tracks for me.
Yeah, I think honestly, I probably would have been more happy with Microcosmos as a single as well. Anyways, next track is called Make It Right. I think the song is really catchy. I think the vocals are nice and smooth, but I'm not a super big fan of the distorted like fake trumpet sound they use throughout. I think it's kind of a bit annoying, but I don't know. Maybe the reason I don't like this song is because it kind of feels like a recycled like Justin Bieber song or something like that.
I kind of get that feel too.
Yeah, but like I don't want to I don't want to sound as negative as I am, like, because overall I did like the album. I thought it was good. It's just like, yeah, yeah, I don't want to, I don't know how to put things without sounding like too harsh, because
Well, then go in
I
on
really
it. I
don't feel that way. No, this song is good. Like I liked it.
I don't like
it's just like no, I thought it was okay. Like it wasn't bad. Like there are only 2 songs on this album that I specifically didn't like, but and this one's not one of them. I don't know. I liked to hear the rapper sing on this song though. I'll put it that way. I thought that was good.
See, I didn't mind the trumpet that much. I thought the intro was nice with like just the trumpet and the singing. And the beat is and then I also like how the beat's simple to like help focus on the singing instrumentals. And the falsetto when the trumpet comes back in, like to match the trumpet, was nice. Harmonies are good. And I thought RM's rap hit really hard because of how chill and empty the song is. Overall, it's one of my least favorites, but I still enjoyed it.
Yep.
This was insufferably boring. I'm sorry. Like, it really was just boring as hell. And it's kind of disappointing because this song was co-produced by Ed Sheeran. And as a big fan of Ed Sheeran, especially songs that he produces for other artists, I was expecting a lot out of this. And it feels like such a throwaway song, in all honesty. I've seen what he's capable of. I've seen Ed Sheeran live. He's capable of crazy shit. Like, he does like all this like pedal stuff and everything. And I don't know, like, I felt like it could have...
He's keeping the good songs for himself.
Yeah, he's keeping the good songs for himself, goddammit. Like, I feel like... I know that they've been wanting to work together for a while, but man, this just like this random, like, boring, instrumental, like, sort of, like, soft vocal type song, like, it's something that BTS has done, like, a million times already, so, like... I honestly, like, in all honesty, I was like, wait a second, haven't I heard this song before? Like, I legitimately had that thought when I first heard this, and that's not a good sign, especially from a song where they're pulling, like, outside production help. So I feel like maybe give Ed the single next time or something. I don't know, like, it shouldn't have, this collaboration shouldn't have been this boring.
Yeah. All right, so next we have Home. And this is one of the ones I specifically didn't really like as much. I have a lot of positives, but there's like just one thing that like really ruins a song for me. So I really like the beat with like the pianos and the vocal samples. I thought that was really awesome. And the only thing that like it started off good, like I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. And then it quickly gets like disrupted with I just feel like the vocals they're too like trumpety sounding, I guess. And maybe if they went like a register lower or something like that, maybe it would be fine, but I don't know, it was too like harsh sounding for me. I thought Ratmon's RM's rap okay, I'm being tongue tied right now. I thought RM's first rap was really nice, and then Suga's verse like towards the middle I thought was awesome as well. But other than that, I think the vocals are kind of annoying. Maybe it's my headphones I'm using, but I just there were two they're too like high pitched and trumpety, I guess is my main thing. That and combined with the trap hi hats, it made it kind of a complete mess in my opinion. But yeah, like this is again one of only two songs that I specifically didn't like. So
See, so I didn't mind it. It's probably my least favorite song of the album, but I actually enjoyed the whole album. I love like you said, I love the instruments. I love like the creepy dissonant synth in the background. It gives it like a really creepy vibe. But and then it comes in with the super techno-y like synths. But for me, the vocals weren't annoying, but to me the instrumentals were like super interesting to the point where they distracted me from the vocals, and the vocals just didn't really catch my ear at all and were kind of just there. Didn't really add to the song, or I don't know, they just, to me, they didn't stand out, and so I didn't really notice them, and so for me it was probably my least favorite.
I like this song. I'd say again, I'm probably the only one here that actually likes trap music, so that didn't bother me at all, in all honesty. Also, I think some of the rap verses on here are some of the best that I've heard on BTS songs, in all honesty. But on top of that, like, I'd say what sort of would make it like fall short of me loving it entirely is just how, again, like the vocals are kind of jarring to some degree, like that, especially that first verse with friggin' Jimin. It sounds like somebody like pitch adjusted his voice like way too high, and I know that's his thing, but it sounds way higher than usual, or just it kind of just like throws the song off for me, because I'm completely fine with like how they're doing it in like the chorus, like the da 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 Mikasa, like that part, like that's fine. That's completely fine. But just like starting it off with like super high thing with like triplets, and it's like it sounds. It's annoying. It definitely comes off as annoying. But the rest of the song I didn't have a problem with.
I'm almost wondering if it's not even his like singing performance. I'm wondering if it's like whoever produced it was just like trouble boosting the fuck out of the track.
But I mean, they're the ones producing. They're involved in the production of a lot of their songs, if anything. The writing. So I think that's just like how he likes singing. And I mean, he's done it on other songs, just not to this degree.
All right. Anyways, into a song I do like, Jamais Vu.
Jamais Vu.
Yes, I think jamais means never, so never you, or no, vu, never want. Actually, I think maybe. Anyways, I really like the like gentle like ballad-esque like pianos and the understated raps that the song like starts out with. I thought those were great. I thought the chorus is also really nice. Also, like in the chorus, I love like the way that J-Hope's like aggressive rap just kind of like jumps out at you. I thought that was really cool. And overall, like I thought this was a really, really awesome like pop ballad. This was probably my favorite besides Persona on the album.
Yeah, I love this type of song, as we've talked about before. I really like sentimental, like rapping over piano, and singing and stuff. It reminds me a lot of Answer Love Myself from the last album.
Yeah, we talked about that. It's a very
similar style song.
Yeah.
And I thought, like you said, J-Hope's rap definitely stood out to me.
Because usually J-Hope is like probably my least favorite out of the three. But like on this track, he was awesome. He was definitely his verse is the best on this.
Yeah, well, the song's just Jin, J-Hope, and Jungkook.
Yeah.
So
okay.
The other two don't have verses, but yeah, I know what you mean. Like, yeah, his verse here stands out.
Like, if Persona wasn't on there, that'd be my favorite like rap verse on the whole album. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's it for me.
I enjoyed it. Probably not as much as I enjoyed like either like Home or like Microcosmos, but I think this is probably the best vocal performance on the entire album for me. And I do enjoy when I can actually sort of when they give focus to BTS vocals, because again it's not always a focus of their songs. So like these sentimental vocal songs are always nice to see on their albums in this sort of way.
Yeah, now that I know that's like literally only three members, I also like that they on their albums, like they kind of just choose like the line distribution based upon like what would sound the best.
Yeah, I
And that's
mean,
one
like,
thing I definitely appreciate, especially with them being in control of most of their production.
yeah, I mean, like intro persona is like only
It's
R.
literally RM.
It's
Yeah,
literally like
exactly.
Rapmon. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's just whatever fits. So
yeah. So in number 7 we have Dionysus. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Um, yeah, when I first heard the auto-tuned vocals in the beginning, I was prepared to hate on the song like completely, but I thought the the thing that reconciles the song for me is I think the rap verses in this were really awesome. Like the hip hop and rap portions are great. They're really hype, but like the chorus, like the auto tune is really unnecessary, I think.
no, it's
Like
not. It
I
makes the
just I
song.
for me like I really don't like
Not
it.
to
Like
us.
I think it's so unnecessary. Like I don't know. It's just I'm just tired of it,
Because
I
that's the
guess.
thing.
I
That's
think
the entire
everyone
genre of song that
everyone
they're
in their
going after. That's the
yeah,
thing.
but I just feel like everyone and their grandmother has done this.
But
You
I mean,
know?
like,
It's just
it's kind of the origins of BTS though, because they had a lot of auto tune songs, like freaking like dating back
Yeah,
to like
those are the
Dark.
worst songs.
Hey, no, I will not.
Pre
I
Dark
will
and
not.
Wild BTS.
I will not
sucks.
tolerate Dark and Wild
is the
slander
best.
on this channel.
No, Dark and Wild's great. It's the stuff before that that sucks.
I mean, yeah, it's
That's
kind of
way
like
more
cringe a
auto-tune
bit,
than
but
Dark and
it's
Wild.
it's. I feel like when they do it now, it's definitely a lot more refined than when they were doing it earlier. So
Yeah, they just don't need to do it though. I'm with Jacob.
for me, it's just
but-
like I wanna enjoy this so bad because I'm such a big fan of them.
No, yeah.
like legitimately, like I love everything they did from like 2014 and 2017. Those are fantastic years for them. But like right now, it's just like I'm so frustrated. I feel like I don't know. Like I feel like
So-
on one hand I'm being too harsh on them, but on the other end, like I have such high expectations that I want them to.
well, yeah, I don't think BTS can meet any of our expectations at this point, just because they're too much of a monster
This-
entity. At
this
this
like
point.
I feel bad. Like I feel like people. I know exactly what people are gonna say in response to like my review, but like I don't know.
This album met my expectations because I lowered my expectations after Love Yourself trilogy because they weren't doing stuff I enjoyed. And this album overall was the songs from Love Yourself trilogy that I liked put onto an album. Like they're not doing anything different, but they took out all the stuff I didn't like out of the Love Yourself trilogy albums. So I really liked all the songs on this. As for Dionysus, yeah, my only negative is the same as Jacob. The overuse of autotune for the trap is just not something I'm into. But the song is hype as hell, it has really awesome guitar parts, and I wish the end of the song was the entire song because the last like 45 seconds of the song are the best song on this album. But if that should have been the whole song because it gets so hard and so hype and so hardcore, like rap rock, like we even get like some screamo like style like rock screaming in there. Like I just thought it was a perfect end to the album, but yeah, that should have been the whole song in my opinion. It would have been my favorite song on the album if it was.
God, the drum part in the song is so good. It's so good. Like it's again. Talking about drum parts on a freaking K-pop song is something that you never really like do outside of like actual bands, but God, it goes so hard. I love this style of song. Again, I have a larger tolerance for auto tune than you guys do, so it adds to the song. I feel like because it's that type of. Because if you really think about it, trap music and rock music are very similar in so many sort of ways. Like the style of instrumentals that they actually do, if you like sort of break it down, are almost the same. Because at the end of the day, they're just trying to be like really like hype music. So it's just the way that's achieved is via rock music through like more heavy guitars and actual like real drum pieces, whereas like trap is off of like an actual like sort of synthetic like drum sample. So they share so many similarities, which is why I don't mind when they sort of incorporate it in this sort of way. Same thing with auto-tune, where I mean, auto-tune in this sort of way is sort of it. It's just another vocal tool that same thing that like screaming or sort of really like sort of deep vocals or just sort of like really raspy vocals are used, and I feel like it does add to the song, especially in terms of like the chorus. So yeah, I'm really excited. Or I wish I was seeing them. In all honesty, I wish I was seeing them because this song's gonna be so fucking hype live. Like this is what I think of when I think BTS, just super hype live stuff that they can perform live and they can really just kill it in terms of like stage presence and controlling the crowd. And yeah, this was a perfect song to end it off with, and I feel like this was just sort of a good summation of why I enjoyed the album tracks on here. Just because again, it's a return to just fun BTS, which is what I enjoyed. Again, Jacob, you mentioned how 2014 to 2017 is the one that you really enjoyed the most, whereas I'm a big fan of very like early BTS, and I guess more of this, like the BTS that I sort of like came up on these past couple of years, or I was listening to their earlier stuff, and I wasn't really into like the sort of like emo like type music that they made their name off of, at least to the majority of ARMY, or like when they really started blowing up. So yeah, I guess I'm sort of like the outlier in that sort of way, which is why I don't mind them returning to this sort of simpler music production. So I'm in a weird position where I do like the album tracks more than I did like the actual single. And if the single was better, I'd probably would have given a better score. But yeah, I'd say like I guess in the long run, like Boy With Love would probably be on the lower end of songs I enjoyed on this album, because it just gets completely blown away by like Intro Persona, Home, Microcosmos, Dionysus, like that sort of thing. So I feel like I just wish that they put the same level of attention that they do into their album tracks into the actual singles again, because I feel like their sort of MO as of late is super safe single, super experimental album tracks, just so you sort of hit every demographic, because there's people that only really listen to BTS singles and they don't touch any of this shit that I really like fell in love with BTS as a group with. So maybe sort of meeting in the middle a bit would be a better way, just because I don't want all this music to go to waste. It's such a shame that like literally, especially people here in America, won't get to listen to songs like Dionysus and Intro Persona, and they're only just getting like a tiny taste of BTS, and if they don't like it, it's just gonna be like they'll just immediately like dismiss the entire group, when I feel like there's so much more to the group than just whatever they put out as singles.
Mm-hmm. All right, rating time. So I wasn't super harsh with the rating because, again, I don't want to be too hard on them, because really what's dragging most of it down is my own expectations. So for music, I gave them a 4 out of 7, because there were songs that I really did like on here and I enjoy and I will continue to listen to. But there are also like 2 or 3 songs that were like just complete misses for me. So I felt it was fair for a 4 out of 7. And then for concept, I gave it 2 out of 3 because again, like I thought the music videos were well done. I like that they're bringing on more like American artists to kind of just collaborate and yeah, exactly. But like, so overall I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was solid. I thought it was okay, but like it's just like the thing I'm frustrated with is I just feel like
no, your math does not work.
Your math is...
You said a 4 and a 2.
Oh. Wait,
see,
what?
it's a
Hold on.
6.
See, you're giving them a 6,
5 and a 2?
Okay,
Or...
I guess I'm giving it a 6.
Giving it a 6.
I guess I'm giving it a 6. But again, it's just like I'm just underwhelmed, because I just feel like they could be doing more overall. I don't know. It's just like
I feel that.
I think maybe it's partly because like as of recent I've been listening to like some of the most influential bands of all time, like the Beatles, Nirvana, and I feel like for K-pop, BTS could be that group that like they release something and it changes the genre literally forever. Like I don't know, I hold them that high in that regard, and I just feel like I don't know, I just feel like they're squandering that opportunity. maybe that's not who they want to be. Maybe that's just, you know, they want to just, you know, make the music they like and put that kind of stuff out, and that's okay. And you know, somebody else will come in. You know, there's always the genre will keep moving forward. It's okay, but I just feel like you know, if you take the Beatles for example, at the height of their career, they're like, okay, we're gonna stop performing live and we're gonna go into this like experimental mode. And they came out with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's one of the best albums of all time, in my opinion. And it's just like I feel like BTS is, and I feel like, you know, maybe it's really unfair to compare them to the Beatles, but like I feel like for
But I mean, they're kind of following the
K-pop,
same like track as the Beatles, if anything. They even
yeah,
got
yeah,
the Shea
I know,
Stadium like Mets like City Field show, and that's
yeah,
literally an icon of
it's
like
like,
music history. So
yeah, it's like I hold them in that high regard, especially in context of like their genre. So like I feel like they could be doing something like that right now, and I just feel like the opportunity is being squandered, I guess. And or like release some sort of I don't know, like maybe K-pop is too corporate for this sort of thing, but
yeah,
you know, like
it really is. I mean, at the end of the day,
Oh,
Big Hit
100%
Big
is.
Hit needs to
just
make their money. They need to make their money, so that's why
yeah.
that's
Again, I just feel like my biggest problem is that this album is too safe. That's I guess is the quick and dirty of it, I guess. It's too safe. Like I think it's quality, it's too safe. It's not offensive, I guess, at all.
Done.
Yep, done. That's my rant. That's
Okay.
my rant.
So, positive Nate's back. Get that Blackpink garbage out of here. Momoland, CLC. Bring on the BTS hype train. So for me, I gave it a 7 out of 7 for music. I loved everything on the album. There are only a couple of small nitpicks. But overall, I loved this album. And like I said, I think it's part of the reason is because it's safe, but also because I lowered my expectations after the last few releases. And so I was kind of going into this with almost zero expectations, and I enjoyed everything on the album. So I loved it, and I gave them full marks. I gave them only 1.5 out of 3 for a concept though, because like the music video was pretty basic and the choreography, like you said, was very simple, and there might be reasons for that, like you said, but overall it just didn't blow me away. The concept itself was pretty just meh. I did like their styling a lot though. So just a 1.5 for concept, and I give them an 8.5 overall.
on my end. I gave a 2.5 out of 3 for single, because again, I feel like Boy With Love was kind of the I guess on the lower end of what I enjoyed on the album, if anything. Yeah, it definitely epitomized the definition of BTS kind of being safe, but again, I'm still a big fan of Lindgren and Melanie Fontana's production, so I didn't hate it too much. I feel like that was probably one of the standouts, and also Halsey being a feature. I love Halsey. Album I gave 3 out of 3.5. Again, I feel like this is where like the real meat of the album was. Save for Make It Right, I pretty much liked everything on the album, and I feel like that's where where their experimentation comes from, because again, songs like Microcosmos or like Dionysus, like I feel like that's where they're definitely like pushing the envelope still. I just wish, again, I wish they were a bit more forward facing with that experimentation and incorporated into singles more often. Concept 2 out of 3. I do like the visual elements of their videos, but again, I feel like the choreography just really didn't do anything too groundbreaking, especially for BTS, who has some iconic choreographies out there before. So that's a total of 7.5 out of 10 on my end. I can read Cooper's for today.
No, I already got it up. If you
you got it? Okay.
Yeah, I got Cooper's stuff up. Cooper said, this album is overall pretty inconsequential. There's still some nice lyrical content we expect from BTS on Home, and we get some more classic tracks like the intro and Dionysus that remind me of Spinebreaker. There's not really a huge wow moment here, however. It's kind of just a nice, easy listen album, which isn't a bad thing. I won't be skipping any of these tracks. I like them all, but none of them scream classic or hit to me. The title track, Boy With Love, is solid and bubbly summer track. Even though I'm not over the moon about it, it's probably their best title track since Spring Day and Not Today. I actually enjoy the Halsey feature more than I thought I would. I like hearing a feminine voice on a BTS track, and I think she did a solid job. The MV isn't anything particularly special, just a bright and fun BTS MV that we've seen many times. The choreography looks fun and catchy overall. Overall, this album isn't going to the top or bottom of my favorite BTS albums, but somewhere in the middle. It's a good start to this new series, but I hope they go with something more ambitious for the second part. With a name like Map of the Soul, you need to deliver the goods.
Yep.
And he gave it music 5.5 out of 7, and the concepts a 2 out of 3.
Same score.
For a 7.5 out of 10.
So, doing the math and putting it into the calculator, that should be a 7.375, rounded up to a 7.5. So, yeah. Cooper and I were essentially the average score. So, yeah, I think that's the thing. I feel like in the long run, it's not necessarily going to be something that's either too terrible or great. It's a good album. It's a solid BTS album. But I feel like, again, with a group, with the stature of BTS, you're always expecting greatness, especially with what they put out before. So I think that sort of sums up all our reviews. It's nothing that's too repulsive in the same way that we felt about like a Blackpink or a Momoland. It's just, we having such high expectations for this group, we definitely always want more from them. What are your thoughts on Map of the Soul Persona? Did you enjoy Boy With Love? Which album track was your favorite? So please let us know in the comments below.
Yep. All right. So I guess from here we can go into the second topic, which I believe Nate is reading.
Yep.
Yes, we are reviewing the debut single album of BVNDIT. Be Ambitious. Bandit. So Bandit is a new girl group from M&H. They're M&H's first group. Before that, they've only had Chungha. So
and like Ihan, who was on Produce 48.
Yeah, well, they've had other trainings and stuff, but Chungha was their first, actual artist to debut under them. And this is their first group. We start out with the intro, which is the same name as the album, Be Ambitious. And I thought this was fucking awesome. It's so weird. It's like the most hype, ridiculous, crazy intro I've ever heard. And I love it. It's got like jazz trumpet, like marching band stuff and chanting. And it's just ridiculous, but in all the good ways, in my opinion. Even though it's all over the place, I thought it was awesome.
I think it's completely pointless being on a single album. You have a single album where you only have 3 tracks and you dedicate one of those tracks to a minute-long intro. Like, I get it. Like, that's the thing.
Awesome.
That's I mean, it's okay, but I mean,
they
seriously,
saved it for the album.
Save it for an actual album. Like, I feel like if you're going to have a single album where you only have 3 tracks,
M&H, we know they have intros on everything.
Yeah, I know they're gonna do intros on everything because that's how they sort of like do the stages or whatever. But I feel like I wanted more actual songs from this group, if anything, because like going into how much I like the later songs, this one just kind of felt like a waste to me, just because they could have used the resources in actually producing another third song for them to go with.
That's true. I did forget to watch the stage.
Don't worry, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it in 2 weeks.
Oh yes, we're gonna see it live.
Yeah.
Well, we probably won't see the intro live. We'll probably just see Hocus Pocus.
So I thought this was an amazing intro. It was another one that, again, like, I wish this was like a full song, because it reminds me of like a really hype remake of like Twice's Touchdown or something like that. That's the only song I can. Yeah, exactly. It has like awesome like snare percussions and like choir style vocals and like cheering, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's
I wish it was a full song.
It's like a super happy version of freaking Gwen Stefani's
Hollaback.
It's pretty much, it's a happy version of Hollaback. Like the Be Ambitious is literally, it's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A. Did I ever tell you about like that apparently there was like an urban legend that that song was written about my school or something?
By your school? Oh,
Apparently, like
I was doing like while I was in my whole like Nirvana like obsessed phase like a couple weeks ago. I apparently that song was written about Courtney Love. Like she said something about her, and yeah,
Holla
it's
Back
like
Girl, seriously?
okay, yeah,
It's a
yeah. I
it's a
was like,
Courtney
what
Love
the
diss
hell?
track. Oh shit, I'm down for that.
Apparently,
Basically, that's what.
yeah,
I
but
read,
literally, but literally everyone has a Courtney Love diss track.
Oh damn. BTS. No, if we want BTS to get, we'll give BTS a 10 out of 10 if they write a Courtney Love diss track.
And since the album's only 3 tracks, Cooper gave us
Yep.
short track by track notes. He said, "This is one of the weirder intros I've heard in K-pop, but it's so good. The brass synth and the drums are a really cool combination." Next we have Hocus Pocus, which is the single on the album. And it's a straight Chungha song. It even at the beginning uses the same synths as Gotta Go.
That fucked me up so much.
I liked it. I liked the throwback. I thought the pre-chorus build was good. I love the mix of like the trumpet and like the Middle Eastern strings for the drop in the chorus. I thought it was a nice like mix of different instruments from different parts of the world. Overall, I thought their vocals were really good. And in this song and the next one, definitely. The music video is pretty basic, but I mean, they're a new group and from a smaller company. I thought the styling was really good though, and even through like the teasers and stuff, I thought they had really good styling. Like they did like the denim stuff that looked really good and like not something you see a lot in K-pop. And then the choreography isn't anything too like technically crazy, but I thought they executed it really well, which is something like you'd expect from M&H, which is where Chungha's from. Like you'd expect people from her company to be decent with choreography. Yeah, and I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, I'm usually the tropical house hater here, but I feel like what sort of separates this from literally like the copy pasta tropical house that K-pop does is, again, that instrumentation. It's similar to like, again, what Chungha sort of goes into, or it's similar to what G-Idol sort of goes into, where again, you don't have to use literally the same like baby synth, like sort of like same sample pack that every goddamn person that does tropical house does for, if you want to do it that type of song. Like I feel like that's definitely the strength of this song. It incorporates a lot more instrumentation to the style that they're going after that isn't just copy paste. It's kind of like the same way that I liked Loca by Favorite. Again, that's just a very tropical inspired song that sort of incorporates new different instrumentals. Again, the horns in here definitely sort of add a new sort of flavor to it. Again, that sort of like sitar sounding thing definitely gives it a bit of an interesting vibe as well. So again, that's pretty much what I'm looking for when it comes to new K-pop groups. Like, it's fine to sort of chase after popular genres, but I feel like there's more than one way to skin a cat, or whatever the expression is. Like, I feel like there's you don't have to restrict yourself to the same type of like production styles that literally everyone else is doing. And I think that's what M&H as a label does a good job of as of late, especially with like what they're doing with Chungha and what they're doing with Bandit, clearly. And I hope that like I hope that sort of this blew up. One, it has like 4 million views on the M&H channel, not even like because they usually put their stuff on like 1K, I think, as well, and it got way more views on the M&H channel. So that's definitely saying something in terms of this group. Like, usually new goos don't get like 1 million, and they have 4.5 in a week. So that's just something to indicate the level of popularity that they're seeing here. So, I think this is a great debut song. Probably one of the better debut songs of the year. Definitely puts them on early list for like a rookie of the year list in terms of girl groups. I'm surprised with how much I like this song, or how much I think, or I'm going to like this group. I mean, on the visual end, I mean, like, again, like you said, the MV is not too crazy, choreo's not too crazy. I'm just glad that they didn't cheap out on the music video, just because it's not Chungha. I was afraid that they wouldn't like dedicate as much money to them, but they gave them a few different sets, which I did enjoy.
You guys said most of what I wanted to say, but overall, I think the song was a really good debut. I think it's really catchy. The production's pretty decent. It's got like the nice punchy like bass, but it's not super like overpowering, and it doesn't like bleed into other parts of the track or anything. And it's definitely similar to a song that Chungha would put out, but that's to be expected since they come from the same
M&H.
company and probably production team as well.
Probably a similar production.
So
yeah.
I know that because Gotta Go is Shinsung, not Black Eyed Pill song. I checked it.
Okay.
This wasn't Black Eyed Pill song.
but what about like Love You or like Roller Coaster and
Yeah,
stuff like that?
I'll look into the I'll look into the Melon. So go ahead.
Anyways, like yeah, overall I thought this was a strong debut. I think it's definitely accessible, and it seems like people are liking them so far if they have that many views anyways. So yeah, I'm excited for them.
Yep. Cooper didn't agree with us as much. He said this song coming right after the intro called Be Ambitious and the album titled the same. It's kind of ironic the song is so painfully generic. This seems like a thrown away Chungha summer track to me. I will say they deliver vocally and with the dance. The music video is about as boring as the song, though. Overall, a really flat debut. Cooper's a hater. Everyone yell at him on Discord.
You can flame his stan Twitter. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, again, I'm usually the one that hates like these songs, but I really enjoyed it. Okay, so this song was produced by Mos Pick, who has worked on. It's a name I've heard of a lot, definitely.
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus, JBJ95 songs, Lavi and Rose.
Okay.
As one
Love
song.
and Rose.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rose.
Yeah,
Okay.
that explains things.
So yeah, and he does stuff for a lot of stuff for a Cube then, like CLC and
Yeah.
like Lavi and Rose was originally for CLC.
Yep.
And finally we have My Error, which is the B side for the single. And I thought this was like very indie coffee shop vibe. Love the instrumentation. It's very like chill and jazzy. And I thought their vocals really shined on this song. Obviously this type of song is going to let you focus on the vocals, and I thought they had really good vocals. Also, the rapper's tone fit the song really well. That stood out. And then they even have a piano solo near the end, which I thought was really cool. It's not something you don't hear instrumental solos very often in K-pop, outside of just like dance break EDM things. So I thought that was really cool to hear too.
This is basically a Red Velvet song. I mean, and that's all you need for me to enjoy it. And again, like usually I'm someone that doesn't like people kind of like copying other groups, but I feel like there's not enough groups like this that I enjoy it whenever, especially a new girl group like this is trying to tackle this type of sound, because it's usually either Red Velvet or like indie artists or like that, or like actual like R&B artists, a lot like a Haze type of thing. Very rarely do girl groups ever dip their toes into this, and I feel like they're perfect for it because the vocals here are, I'd put on the level of a group like Red Velvet in terms of how perfect it fits this style of song. So I'd love to see a single like this, in all honesty. Like this, like My Era could easily have been a single in my eyes. Like I love I you could make an argument I like this song even more than Hocus Pocus, in all honesty. That's how much I ended up enjoying
I definitely do.
the song. Yeah, that's why I wish there was more than just Hocus Pocus and My Air in terms of actual songs. That's why I feel like Be Ambitious was kind of a waste, because I feel like if they gave me another song like this, I would just be like, oh, they might just like steal the Rookie of the Year award away from like people like ITZY or what do we call it?
Everglow.
TXT.
Everglow, yeah.
Everglow.
But
Okay.
I'm so far I'm pretty happy just in general with all these new girl groups that we're getting. Like, again, I know last year was the year of the girl group or whatever.
They're way
but
better than the established girl groups we've been getting.
yeah, in all
been beating
honesty,
up.
like the stuff that we're getting from these new girl groups is we're finding way more enjoyable than sort of, I guess, because they haven't been too set in their ways yet. So they're definitely again, new goos are more prone or more likely to like throw. It's like they'll throw whatever on the wall and see what sticks type of approach, and I feel like it's working so far with this group.
So for me, I really like the like delayed, like off time almost like beats they used in the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. And yeah, for me, like my first impression as well was like a Red Velvet, like Velvet side track, or like a Zion T. I think
IU.
he would sing something
Oh.
like this as well.
I thought IU.
IU definitely.
IU,
Speaking
okay,
of IU.
I could see that as well. But yeah, like I even put in my notes, like I like this a lot more than Hocus Pocus. I think the R&B style vocals along with like the hip hop style like beats, I thought it was really awesome. So yeah, I think this is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper said this clearly wasn't going to be the title track, but it's so much better than Hocus Pocus. This is a really cool indie feel, a little jazzy and coffee shop vibe, so similar to my thoughts. So yeah, that's it. This was a short one because it's just a single album, but we're short on topics for this week, and so we figured
no one released albums. No one wanted to be. Nothing. No one wanted to fight BTS essentially because they know they're gonna get it like screwed over.
Yeah, no one wanted to go against BTS
until twice in a week or two.
Yeah, basically, it's funny how everyone, like literally everyone, planned their releases around when BTS did because they know they're too much of a monster. But I mean, Bandit's a new group, so I mean, and they still managed to do well for themselves despite releasing in the same week. So
so we'll get into review scores. For me, I gave it a 6.5 out of 7. Overall, I loved everything on it, but it was a little basic. But I mean, that's expected. It's a new group. M&H isn't the biggest company in the world, so I just dropped a little bit off. But overall, I liked all three of them a lot. And then I gave it a 2 out of 3 for concept, because I thought the choreography they executed it well. The music video was decent, but nothing crazy. So I gave it an 8.5.
On my end, I gave a 3 out of 3.5 for single. I enjoy. I'm shocked at how much I enjoy it because at first listen, I thought it was like, oh, it's another stupid freaking tropical house song. But the more I listened to it, or the deeper I got into the song, the more I appreciated them sort of changing up the style of instrumentals that you usually hear in this type of genre. So, I wouldn't mind them doing another tropical house song. I wouldn't mind them going into more R&B like My Error. So yeah, I feel like the future's definitely bright with this group, and I'd like to see a full album, or maybe a mini album, so that we get more music, more of these B-sides, especially if the B-sides are going to be as good as My Error. Speaking of album tracks, I gave it a 2.5 out of 3.5. Most of the deductions come from Be Ambitious, because as much as I thought it was cool sounding, I feel like, again, it's kind of a waste on such a short album. Concept, 2 out of 3. Again, they didn't do anything too crazy in terms of choreography and visual style, but I do like the commitment it seems that M&H is making to this group in terms of what they're giving them in terms of like outfits, actual music video production, live stages. They're definitely shopping them around the different live music shows and everything. So yeah, I have a positive outlook on this group in general. Same thing I have with Everglow. I'm just really excited for these new girl groups to sort of hopefully change up the landscape of K-pop music. So that would be a total of 7.5 out of 10.
Yep. So for me, I gave it a 5.5 out of 7. I thought all 3 tracks were really cool. Again, Hocus Pocus, it's a little bit basic, but I still think it was a good debut track that they could start off with that I think the general public would like. And yeah, but I think they definitely made up for that with Be Ambitious, an awesome intro. My Error, I thought, was an awesome B-side. So I'm definitely really looking forward to what they have in store in the future. Concept, I gave it 2 out of 3, so overall 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Cooper said overall, I wish this would have been a mini album. They really need more songs to flesh out their sound more.
I agree.
Because there's no real cohesion between any of these 3 tracks here. And he is the lowest out of any of us. He gave it a 4.5 out of 7 for music and only a 1.5 out of 3 for concept, so a 6 out of 10.
So, doing all the math, putting into the calculator, 7.375, so 7.5 average as well.
Exact same as BTS.
Exact same as BTS, but I feel like, I feel like them having no expectations going in, or definitely help them in that favor. So yeah, I think
this brand new girl group from a small company is as good as the biggest.
And I mean, hey,
it's
closing it on 5 million after a week. That's not an easy feat, especially for a group like M&H.
They have almost 1 million on Stone, so
Stone Music Industry. Yeah, so that's really awesome for them. I mean, I don't think they're gonna get any wins because they're going up against like Eyes One.
No.
So
yeah, no.
But I mean, they definitely set a good like base for them, and I am excited to see where they when they come back, like what they'll do. So what are your thoughts on Bandit's debut? Do you like Hocus Pocus? Do you like My Era better? Do you think Be Ambitious should even be on this?
Yes, because it's amazing.
I don't even know any of the members, in all honesty. Please, if you're a Bandit fan, let me know who my bias should be.
My bias is short-haired girl, because she's the main.
There's a
I don't know their names.
Yeah, I need to figure out their names,
There's
especially
blonde-haired girl, short-haired girl, and then the other three.
one that looks like Luna.
Sure, I'll look them up.
And I should probably learn their names too, because they're 100% they're going to KCON, because MNH, like they bring Chang'e, they bring like
Chang'e better be at KCON
and
New York.
being on Stone Music
Please.
Entertainment, obviously, like CJ, so they're definitely going to show up at KCON. So let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. We definitely enjoyed it.
Yep. Topic 3. We're going to talk about the new Netflix series featuring prominently, like in every episode, IU, which is Persona.
You never
It's a
see
cover
it
of the game
coming.
It's a cover of the video
Yeah,
game
everything's
series.
Persona
Cover of
this
the
week.
video
Freaking Map of the Soul Persona,
BTS.
IU Persona.
Yeah.
Like in the title of the video, I have to put I'm probably gonna have to put IU Persona, just because there's gonna be a lot of, or else you're never gonna find the
Oh
video.
yeah, two
Just do
topics called
Netflix Persona.
Netflix Persona, IU sort of thing. So
Yeah.
I'll be the one leading this topic, because I don't know. I've done nothing else this week. This topic. So IU Persona. So this is a short film project that IU participated in, where 4 different directors did 4 different short skit type things, starring IU. I guess sort of as a deeper look into the persona of IU. As a person, I don't know. IU is a weird hipstery person, so it's not surprising that she's participating in something like this. Also, IU is definitely she's a tenured actor at this point. She's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's done a lot of dramas and stuff.
Yeah, she's literally, I think she got cast in a drama this year, possibly, or last year she was cast in a drama, which kind of got controversy because I feel because she's 25 and her love interest was 43. But I mean, that's kind of a normal thing in Korea, unfortunately. Anyway, so we're gonna start off with the first episode, or first short, which was entitled Love Set. So I guess sort of the premise of this, I'll just intro it and I'll let you guys go first. The premise of Love Set is IU is in a heated tennis match between her and her English teacher over the affection of her dad, or she doesn't want her to marry her dad and that sort of thing. So it's this intense tennis match type of setup as the scenario. So what were your guys' thoughts? I guess we can start with Nate.
I thought this was easily the worst one.
Oh yeah, by far. This one sucked.
This one
I didn't
is
think it
not
sucked.
good.
I thought it was interesting.
I thought, well, okay, first of all, it started off with a bad note because the audio balance was horrible with the tennis screaming. Then when she says something in English to the random white guy that shows up that has no purpose in the story, he's completely useless.
It has no subtitles as well.
It has no subtitles. So, but it's so quiet compared to the grunting that I had to turn it up really loud to hear what she said, but then the grunting was insanely loud. So audio balance was garbage. But beside the point, the story just in general was non-existent and kind of dumb, and it was basically just a giant 20-minute episode to show off IU sweating a bunch.
Hell yeah.
There's so many weird slow motion shots of their backs and legs and their faces just sweating super zoomed in. It was ridiculous. Also, who wears a long sleeve sweater when you're playing tennis when it's clearly hot outside?
That's
is that a thing?
It's an older. It's a throwback. tennis
it's
look.
older. I know, but
that's what they used to wear in the early days of
2019.
tennis. I mean, it's IU. She likes dressing up nice, so it's not surprising that she wants to look fancy even when she's playing tennis.
Yeah, but I guess what I got out of this was it seemed like it was supposed to be a story of determination winning against all odds, because IU is really bad at tennis compared to the teacher or whatever, but she's just keeps trying to win. But really it just seemed like a bratty kid who hated her dad's girlfriend and forced them to break up because she's selfish. That's what I got out of this overall. And then the white dude played absolutely no part in the story and had no business being there.
So to me, I didn't take it at face value. For me, it was like seen more like an allegory.
Yeah,
Or-
definitely allegory.
Like it was like an allegory of like a child and like her parents are divorced and her dad is dating her teacher and she doesn't want them to like obviously that stuff can be taken at face value, but like the tennis match when the teacher was playing against her dad and the grunting, I think that was supposed to be like her overhearing them having sex.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
But I mean, there are
it's
people like that in
definitely-
tennis, though. Like there are people like
like
there
Sharapova.
there have actually been discussions on banning grunting in tennis just because it's so distracting to some degree. Because
Yeah.
I mean, like some people aren't as bad as it with it, but like if you ever hear like Maria Sharapova play, it sounds like Or I mean, like even some guy like some
Yeah.
like or like Djokovic, he's like like when he goes like when he gets like really into it. But I mean,
yeah.
nothing you can do, I guess.
But also, like, as soon as IU starts playing, you can tell, like, she's kind of, like, taking the piss out of the other woman playing. Like, she's, like, imitating her. She's like, ah! Like, she's doing it, like, way, like,
Well,
overly,
when she
like,
plays against her
theatrical,
dad,
like,
and her dad
Yeah.
says, like, don't
Stop
make those weird noises,
around
With
like,
other
when you're
guys,
playing
strange
tennis
men.
with a guy.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think the white guy is supposed to be her, like, just being rebellious, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, I remember her, like, just screaming, like, what the fuck? Or something.
fuck
Oh, yeah,
you.
that said, fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
IU dropping an F-bomb is
Like,
I believe
that's
the
going to
term is
become a
called
meme.
scare
Like, as soon as
arousal.
I saw that.
I believe it,
As soon as I saw that.
you're both scared and aroused at the same time by IU yelling at you.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's gonna become a meme. I know it is.
Yeah, so anyone in the Discord, make an IU fuck you gif, please.
Yeah.
Was that all, Jacob? Or
Yeah, pretty much. I just took it as like it was like 2 of the episodes were lighthearted and 2 of them were very serious. This is one of the lighthearted ones.
yeah.
So-
So, I think just to sort of like sum up my feelings on this, it's definitely a short or this episode definitely kind of sacrificed substance for aesthetic because I one of the things I did like was
the
when
cinematography was awesome.
yeah, the cinematography was awesome. I'd say like one of the parts was how they incorporated cinematography into calling back in parts of the story. Like the screenshot I have here is IU and the white guy like going back and forth, like looking back and forth when the English teacher, who's played by Duna, and the dad are just playing tennis. They call back to that shot when Duna and IU are playing their tennis match between the dad and the white guy, just looking back and forth. They make the almost the exact same shot. So I love the cinematography choices here. Also, just like they pull back in some parts when like there's just watching, just I guess to sort of like signify how insignificant they are at that moment, or just like to see like I guess there's a bigger picture. So I like that part of the cinematography. There's almost no exposition though. Like there's almost no like the entire exposition is literally IU saying, "Seduce my English teacher and I'll go out with you." That's literally like the only thing
Yeah.
that she said of any consequence, other than like at the end, like the English teacher's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go out with your dad." So I guess what they're trying to sort of showcase with this, I feel like, is there's sort of a duality to IU's character in that at one point she's like literally like jumping on her dad's back, playing like the innocent daddy's girl, but at the same time she has like ulterior motives and trying to literally get someone to seduce like her English teacher.
Yeah.
I like how they sort of show the progression or like the intensity of the match. Like there's IU literally like it scrapes, bruises, like she has blood trailing down her leg the entire towards the end.
Yeah, for a tiny knee scrape, she bled a lot. Why? She's like,
Oh hey, I mean,
bleeding
I think
all
they're
down
playing.
her leg.
They're
There's
playing
like
on
a
hardcore.
giant, like, yeah.
They're playing on
I don't know.
hardcore, which
It was just
hard
funny.
like I've played on hardcore before, and yeah, if you it's not as forgiving as grass or clay is. Like hardcore like hurts like hell. But I mean, yeah, I'd say this was probably the least the least memorable. Like literally, the only thing I can remember is like, wow, IU looks good. Like that's I don't like the actual story.
I feel
of
like
it.
that was the whole point.
That's
of
the whole
story.
point of
the
this.
Dude was like, oh, I just want to make a short where IU's playing tennis and she's in like a tight sweater and a skirt.
Yep,
That's
I think
all
that.
I want.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like this one had the least amount of substance of all of them. So
Yeah.
which sucks
was-
because it's definitely. I feel like this was the one that was kind of advertised the most, if anything. So
Yeah. It did give me the weird like just like throwback sensation because I took tennis in Korea. So like, I was just like played in court like that. Just like a fenced in court out in the middle like that. So it was just like weird sensation, but other than that I thought overall it was not very good.
Yeah.
next we have the second short entitled Collector. So the premise of this is the main character, I forget his name, the other guy.
I don't know. Did they ever say his name? Oh no, yeah, Jungwoo.
Big Jungwoo is the name of the character. He's meeting up. He's meeting up with his girlfriend, played by IU. Definitely talking about like secrets and sort of attention to the entire short. So, I mean, I don't want to spoil it just yet because this story was fucking awesome. But I want to get your thoughts on the whole thing.
This one was
you don't want to
crazy.
spoil
This
it?
one was.
I mean, I want to see
You
what
can't
you guys
talk
think about it. No, like we can spoil it definitely. Like that's the thing.
Okay.
Either
Like,
this one or the last one is my favorite. I'm
Yeah.
not sure which. I think maybe the last one I like a little bit more, but only for cinematography reasons. But even in this, like the way they handled like the timeline in this one, I thought was really interesting. Well, maybe not the timeline, but like kind of the way like certain points are like inside his head, and he's like almost like hallucinating a little bit, and like IU, her acting in this was amazing. Like
This is the best short in terms of acting.
Yeah. Like she like the character she's playing is like it like honestly like scared me a little bit. I was like, what the hell is like wrong with her? I'd say it's hard to talk about this one without spoiling things.
I mean,
'cause
you can
want
spoil it.
people
You
to
can spoil it.
experience
You can spoil it.
Okay, because like okay. So basically, people, if you're at this point and you haven't seen it, just go watch it first. It's like 30 minutes long. Just watch it.
It's not
This
even,
episode.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah, it's like 25 minutes. Yeah, like the guy, he's like sitting there and he's asking her questions because apparently she just like left all of a sudden and went on a vacation with her male friends.
Yeah,
And he was like
getting worried,
trying
and
his
jealous.
best not to be jealous, and she's kind of like not being very considerate towards him. And I think the main part where I started to be like on the guy's side, because at first, like when it starts out, I'm like, why is this dude being so like overly nosy? Yeah, like because I didn't realize that she like went on a trip with like her with a bunch
you
of
said
guys.
It was 10 days.
10 days.
She
Yeah,
left for 10 days.
Yeah,
and
she
didn't
just
tell
left.
him.
Yeah, like at first I thought, oh, she just went on a vacation with her friends, whatever, who cares? But no, like she just left without saying anything. So that's but like in the scene in the cafe where they're like kind of like on a date talking, like that's where I like started to be on the guy's side. I was like, oh, I see what's happening here now. Like he was like actually trying to have like at first when he was talking about like how, oh, he believes God is a woman or something like that, like I thought he was just saying shit to make her like him. But like then when you see her just like on her phone like texting some other guy at the same time, I'm like, oh, I see what's happening. Like he's putting in effort trying to talk to her, and then she's just like kind of ignoring him, I guess, and like not even giving him her attention. And then also, all right, so I guess at this point I'm just summarizing stuff, but one thing I really enjoyed was like the part where like the white room where like it's kind of like his headspace and he's having like hallucinations, like seeing his ex-fiance, like, and like things like that, and like revealing things about the story that way. I thought that was really awesome and cool. Um, and also like the reveal at the end, like what was inside the box that she gave him.
Yeah.
Like I still don't quite understand what was going on there, but yeah, it was cool.
Nate?
Yeah, for me, so yeah, this starts out as like just like, okay, here's a horrible relationship story where there's this carefree girl who's cheating on her boyfriend and like doesn't really care about the relationship and leading him on. But yeah, then it does. I like the stuff with like what's inside of his head was cool. It was like he's like talking to his ex-girlfriend and like, why'd you broke up our engagement to be with this girl and she clearly doesn't care about you or whatever.
Yep.
So like it gets a little weird in there, but like you're like, okay, this is inside of his head, so like it makes sense. And then like the ending is just like, okay, I use this weird succubus who like forces men to rip out their hearts for
She
him.
literally is a succubus.
Literally.
She's a succubus, yeah, it's what she is. It's so weird though, like where it's they're just in this weird creepy bar with no one in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're boring, like do something amazing for me. And he literally rips out his heart and gives it to her.
She feels an Indiana
she puts
Jones.
it in a jar and she writes his name. She asks him what his name is. She doesn't even know his name.
Yeah, his name.
Even
Or
though
she
they've been
forgets.
dating.
She's very forgetful.
She forgets his
like,
name.
oh, what's your name again? Like, yeah, she's very nonchalant about like.
And then she puts it in her bag, and you see there's like other hearts in there with other names on the jars. It's like, oh, okay, so she's a succubus. Like, okay, this is weird.
And I think
it was decent, but it was weird.
She played that role perfectly. I feel like this is where I feel just
yeah, that was the acting. This was
her acting in here was incredible.
It's like Jacob, were you the other one? Did you say this was? You liked this more than the last one?
No,
so
Jacob
it was between this one and the last one.
Jacob
but I think the last one edges it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the last one's my favorite, but this is probably my second favorite.
No, this was easily my favorite just because I'm a really big fan of stuff like the Twilight Zone or is like really weird shit like this.
Yeah, this is definitely like very Stephen King Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's got that whole like even the cinematography choices they use and like the imagery and like the grotesque nature of this short it's very surrealist in that sort of way, like the whole white hospital bedroom type of thing. It's like the sunken place in like Get Out or something like that, or like when he's literally cuts his head off, or like this sort of like as allegory or just like visual like representation of just like the way he's feeling, him literally pulling out his heart. Just like the imagery that they use in here is very much along the lines of those things, like, or just like the concept of him just like sort of playing out these events in his head, that sort of way. It's very Evangelion-esque in like literally at the end of Evangelion, like not the end of Evangelion the movie, but like the last few episodes of Evangelion are literally just because they ran out of a budget, so it's literally just like Shinji being like, what's wrong with me, like in like a white like background and everything. So it's kind of like got that thing going for it. The funny thing is this short is almost exactly the opposite of Love Set, where it's almost entirely exposition. Like almost all of it is just exposition in terms of like how they move the and progress the plot.
It's just them sitting and
talking. It's just them sitting and talking, and I like that aspect of it. The background music is definitely a lot more ambient. Definitely adds like that tension as opposed to using an actual like score. Like you mentioned, Nate, that sort of misdirection, like making you think it's like your standard melodrama of a love story and turns into like straight up like a horror tale. Like she's like this succubus type thing. Also, the thing I really liked is the box, while it's a MacGuffin, like for those that don't know, I'm like sort of literary or just like screenwriting terms, a MacGuffin is like an object that becomes the sort of driving force of the plot, or like famous MacGuffins is like, I don't know, like Sorcerer's Stone. Think of something like that, where like that's the entire like focus of the story. So the box that she gives him is a MacGuffin, but they don't make the entire story just about what's in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? If anything,
you're like reminded of it.
I forgot about it until he
remember there was a box.
Yeah, I forgot about it
like,
until the very
open this
end.
when I'm not here, and I was like, okay, it's just like a present she bought him from traveling, and then I forget about it like almost immediately.
Yeah, so I think that's a good way to go about having a MacGuffin. Is like make the audience forget about it until the very end when you like spring it on them, and it has more of an impact than if you just constantly remind them of its existence. That monologue that again Jacob you mentioned about him seeing woman as God, it's almost comes to fruition in a way in that like he thinks of woman as God, and IU is like this godlike person that literally rips his fucking heart out and everything like that. Like it all ties in together in that sort of way. So I think there was so much more depth to this story than Love Set had. So like this is easily my favorite turn. I'd be so down with IU just starring in like a Twilight Zone like weird as hell like type of anthology series. 2. Yeah, because it's called Collection 1, which means we're definitely going to get Collection 2 at some point. I don't know if it's gonna have IU starring in it.
Or different.
It'd be kind of cool to do different actors or actresses, like focus on each set.
So
next,
moving on, we're
next
on to Kiss Burn. So to sort of, I guess, set up the premise of this short, IU's checking on her, I guess, schoolmate who skipped school, and she definitely did some interesting things in terms of going to the beach.
This one's less about...
Yeah.
I think this one's less about, like, a deeper meaning, but it's more about, like, the character development and the environment and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're, like, go into, like, what you were saying before.
Yeah, I mean, so basically that's just the basic premise of it. She's checking up on her her schoolmate, and hilarity ensues.
So,
Nate,
to me, like, although Love Set's my least favorite, I mean, I think Walking at Night and Collector are, like, way, way better than this one in Love Set. This one just honestly like felt more like a PSA than anything. Yeah, it was like, "Hey kids, pay attention more often. Don't smoke. Don't start forest fires intentionally or unintentionally.
Don't go to the beach and get
at a very bad time.
Guys you don't know.
That's why they had to delay this.
Delayed because of the forest fires.
Yeah, there's a really bad forest fire in Eastern Korea. Like a lot of people lost homes and everything, so they decided to delay the release of this from April 4th or 5th to April 11th out of like respect and courtesy for the people affected by the forest fires. But
basically it's just like two kids being delinquent kids and accidentally starting a forest fire, and I'm like, okay, this one definitely was like the least. I don't know. This one and Love Set really were just like I just didn't really care about either of them that much.
Jacob?
Yeah, for this, for me, I thought what was best about it was like the dialogue and the characters.
Mm.
There was
like
good
especially like IU's friend in this. I think she's really interesting. Like you see this girl, like she has she can't contact her friend, and when she sees her, like her hair is like chopped off and she's got like hickeys all over her neck, and
those are some of the most intense hickeys I've ever seen. Like it's not just like usually with hickeys it's like, not that I know from experience, it's usually like a little like red mark or whatever, but this shit looks like bruises and everything.
Oh yeah, it looked like she was like punched in the neck.
Yeah, I'm just like, how hard was this dude sucking on your skin? Like Jesus Christ.
It was a little crazy because like when they introduced her dad as being abusive, when I saw the hickeys and stuff, I thought maybe it was her dad who did it. I thank God it wasn't, because I was like, oh, that's going to be this serious. I was like, damn. It's like, I don't know. It's like Jenny and Forrest Gump. Like, I thought it would be like that. But, thank goodness. Like, it was interesting. Like, she's just, like, she doesn't even care. Like, she just goes to the beach and, like, makes out with this random guy
that she
guess
doesn't know the name
a
of.
Delinquent from some random high school. Yeah, she doesn't even know his name. And she doesn't go to school. It's, like, interesting, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I'd say this is definitely the most K-drama of the shorts. Definitely,
really?
like...
I disagree with that.
Or no, like,
I think the next one is
like in terms of I feel like we get out of like lighthearted K-dramas.
This is like a lighthearted K-drama. The next one's like
serious. Yeah. Yeah, basically it's like a slice of life, like literally like anime type thing.
Yeah,
Like it's even set out in the country. Like the musical score that they use for this definitely feels like a K-drama. And it's definitely it takes itself a lot less seriously than Collector did. Like there's even like it's almost comical, like the way that they use like the zoom in shots at some point, like the zoom ins that they use for and like I use like spying on the window or whatever, or just like I use like literally camping out, and she has like this whole like thing of like fucking meat that she just like eating. Like it's literally like, in the package and everything, and like yeah, it's definitely a lot more lighthearted in that sense. I'd say the major theme of this would be, I guess, like they're trying to orchestrate revenge plots, but nothing works. Like they're trying to orchestrate the revenge plot on their So Daebak is the girl played by Shim Dagi. They're trying to orchestrate revenge on their dad because she cut Daebak's hair. He got drunk and cut her hair like really bad, so they want to get revenge on him. And they're doing all these like Home Alone type pranks that aren't working. And then there's a part where IU, who's smoking in this entire short, she says smoking would be like a form of rebellion. And when Daebak starts smoking, she accidentally sets like the chicken coop on fire. So literally like everything's going wrong, and it sets the forest on fire at the end. So yeah, I'd say like that's sort of the major theme of it, where like all of their attempts to sort of get revenge on various types of people just ended up in complete failure, which I thought was like a really like funny sort of thing. And there's like nice foreshadowing at the beginning, because like again her dad, Daebak's dad is like he's a lookout for forest fires. You see like you see the sign on like the front of his truck that literally says be aware of forest fires, or be careful of forest fires. That level of foreshadowing is a nice touch before you actually got into the climax of the story, essentially. So I did enjoy the short, not as much as I did enjoyed Collector. Maybe not as much as I enjoyed the next one, but we'll sort of get into that a bit. I did enjoy it overall still.
Yep.
And closing out the shorts, we have the last one called Walking at Night. The premise of this is just literally like a boyfriend and a girlfriend taking a stroll at night, talking about feelings, death, that sort of thing. So, Jacob, you said this was your favorite, so I guess you can start.
Yeah, this one's easily my favorite, and for the reason, like, being mostly the cinematography, and then the way that they sort of reveal details about the story through the dialogue. Like one thing I really love cinematography wise is the way they used light. In particular, like the part where they were like talking next to the table with the 2 glasses of wine at the restaurant they went to. Like the boyfriend seemed like he was going like in and out of consciousness a lot in his dream, and you could tell that through like when it was dark or when it was light.
Yeah.
Like when he was more like stimulated, it was brighter, and then when he was sort of like kind of like dozing off, it was or like starting to wake up from being emotional, it would like turn black. And yeah, it's like it's really interesting how they like also through the dialogue and the characters, how they like reveal that she's actually dead and this isn't a dream.
Yeah.
And she's talking about like, I died, do you know why I died? And then like throughout the story, like it's revealed like she
committed suicide.
Like she committed suicide, and yeah, like she has to like consoling it to him like, it's not your fault, you're always there for me. And yeah, it was very emotional for me, but I really enjoyed it because like even in just 20 minutes, like they really get you to really care about these 2 characters and make you want to know a lot. And I think the way they left it off, like you still want to know more, but I think you know enough that you can kind of like make your own conclusions yourself. Yeah. So I think this one is easily the most like masterful of the 4.
So Nate, what are your thoughts?
Jacob ruined my entire set of notes because basically what he said. No, this is easily my favorite. And I think because, I thought this was the best of the 4 in terms of storytelling easily. It made me care the most about the story and the characters.
Yep.
And I think this would be I think just overall, I think the concept in general is really cool. I think it would be a really, really good like full length
yeah,
of like
Yeah.
like repeatedly
Seeing her
his
in his
girlfriend
dream.
visiting him in his dreams, and then like what he does when he wakes up and how he doesn't remember them, and just kind of has to like deal with the fact that she committed
Yeah.
suicide, and because he also, they say that he's not going to remember anything he hears in these dreams,
Yep.
so he's going to keep blaming himself even though she says not to.
Yeah.
And like I think that would be a really cool concept for a full length show.
And like throughout the show,
so-
he finds out stuff in
he
real
slowly
life, and it affects
like,
his dream.
or starts remembering, or like just stuff like that. I think it would be a really, really cool idea. So this was definitely my favorite.
So to touch upon the points that you guys have covered, again, cinematography in this was incredible. It's just black and white cinematography, and I feel like that definitely adds to it because you could play with more, again, like the term is chiaroscuro, definitely pioneered by like Rembrandt and that sort of thing, where there's contrast between dark and light. There's some points where they're even actually silhouetted, sort of almost like literally like actual like stage silhouetting, or just to sort of like focus in more on exposition.
Yep.
I'd say the interesting parts are there's when the part when he finally just like, oh shit, she's dead. Like when he makes that realization, there's that part when he sort of like faces away from her and it's very dark, and it's almost kind of it's almost kind of symbolic of him not wanting to accept the reality of her own death. Which is why this whole sort of short is him sort of, one, reminiscing back on the times that they had in their relationship, and two, him or IU trying to allow him to, I guess, come to terms with the fact that she's dead, or the fact that it's not his fault. Like she definitely went into that monologue part where she's saying that it wasn't his fault specifically. It was the people that treated, like the other people, that the way they treated her sort of made her feel that sort of way. And she also gave these like nice insights into like death, where at the beginning she's talking about like her sister like dying with her mouth open and everything, and like when she jumped it wasn't instantaneous, and how she tried her hardest to like close her mouth because she wants to embrace death. She doesn't want to grasp for that last bit of life and that sort of thing, and that definitely ties into the monologue she has at the end. So this is one of the few things I definitely wrote down word for word. Or the translations went, dreams and death lead to nowhere. They will end up nowhere and eventually be forgotten. And I feel like that's definitely her way of trying to make him feel not guilty about it. Because definitely he like the character feels like so caught up in guilt in terms of one, wishing that they had more time together, and two, feeling like he could have done more. And yeah, I guess that's sort of the reality of it. There's such a fleeting nature to dreams and people dying that eventually just becomes a regular part of life that you forget. You kind of forget the significance of it. And and same thing with dreams, where it's very hard to remember dreams even after you wake up. Like sometimes I dream and I'm just like, what the hell was that? But I can't really remember exactly what it is. And that's, I guess, why it's the perfect setting for this is to sort of draw parallels between the fleeting natures of, I guess, life and dreams in that sort of way. And it did kind of end a bit abruptly with that monologue part, but I guess it ties into the, I guess, abrupt nature. Like when you're dreaming, sometimes you just snap awake or whatever. You're just like, what the hell was that? Or you're just left there thinking on it. So yeah, the cinematography was incredible with this. Definitely how they sort of revealed the story through this like slow exposition. And the violin score was definitely fitting for the somber nature of this entire short. So yeah, I'd say between this and Collector are some of the two standouts of all the shorts. I'm just in favor of Collector just because I love things that fuck with you, or just like weird stuff like sci-fi horror, almost stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just a big fan of mindfucks essentially. So I hope there's a season 2. I hope hopefully with IU again, because I really love. I've never watched anything with IU. In all honesty, I've never seen her act before. She's really good at it. She definitely holds her own. She's not just like a pretty face that they're trying to sort of get buzz and sales with. She definitely is a driving force in all of the shorts. So
I think she was a really good. I thought she was a really, really good, I guess, avatar, so to speak, for like sort of expressing these characters.
Yeah. So, any closing thoughts?
Overall, I highly recommend this to anyone. Like
Oh,
even
definitely.
people who aren't into K dramas, like I think this is super cool, and it's
Yeah,
really easy to get into too because everything's so like you don't need to watch all of them, and they're so short. Like if you're like if you like short films, check it out. It's awesome.
Nate.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's worth it. I mean, it's only like an hour and a half long to watch all 4 of them, so it's not like it's a long commitment of a whole TV show or anything. But yeah, it definitely has its up and downs, but I think it's worth it overall to check it out. I thought IU was great in it.
Yeah, she definitely has won me over in terms of her acting chops. Again, I really hope that she can get more of this in. And I hope it's a success and that Netflix is more inclined to greenlight a second season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just really impressed with the work we got here. Who knows? Maybe they'll do 4 new directors in terms of like who's in charge of each of the different shorts. But I think it's a really good idea. It's a really unique idea, and it definitely it screams IU in terms of like the type of project that it is. So. Definitely, if you watched it, let us know what your favorite short was, what your favorite, I guess, moment was of the entire Persona series. You can watch it on Netflix. I believe it's available everywhere. You said, did you have to use a VPN to watch it in Korea? Or just curious, or
Nope.
You're
There
able to
was
watch?
only English subtitles available, so I got lucky.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. But I mean, it's definitely available wherever you can watch Netflix. So, yeah, hopefully we get more cool projects like this, and let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below.
Yep. All right. Topic 4, which I guess is me just giving a status update so far, so this will probably be a little bit short, but
I'm gonna just go on your Instagram because I have no I have no visual reference for this topic.
You can show some of my pictures. Let's see. So yeah, basically I have kind of just been like living life, getting used to stuff. Like now I'd say I'm more settled in than the last time since the last time I've been on the podcast. Things have become more like normal, so to speak. I've gotten into more of the like routines of things, going to class, going to Suwon on certain days, trying my damnedest at least to study for classes. Because like that's one thing is the class structure is completely different than in the U.S. Like in Korea, they kind of just like they teach less in class and they expect you to study more on your own.
Oh,
Like so, only one class I have a problem with this is my statistics class. Like the professor, he kind of just like writes on the board and just does example problems, and that's the whole class. Like and you don't ask questions, you just watch him do it. That's the whole
God.
class.
I can't survive
Like
in classes
you
like
have
that.
to learn. Me neither. Like that's why I'm so scared of this class. I might have to retake it, but like it's just like you have to study out of the book and teach this yourself before you go into class. And like classes where you're like sort of reinforcing those ideas, whereas like in the U.S. you get taught in class and then you reinforce the ideas at home. Here it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You learn at home first and then you reinforce the ideas in class. And like for me, like in the US, like if I'm not learning anything from class, I just don't go. I literally just don't go to class if it's worthless. Like in here, like for the stats class, like attendance is mandatory, so I literally have to go. But like if I was taking this exact class in the US, I literally would just not show up to lecture. And I just do the homework and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, there is no homework. You have to just do well on the test.
Oh god! I see. Like at least, like as much as
Like,
I hated
what
homework
the
in
hell?
class or in college or in high school or whatever.
Yeah, it
at
forces
least
you to learn the material.
it forces you to learn the material, and it sort of balances out. Like, oh fuck, I bombed the test, but at least homework sort of balances out that grade. But
Yeah.
no, I can't. Yeah, that's interesting to see how like different the sort of academic structure is. I mean, Nate, was it kind of the same way for you? Just like, I mean, you didn't take any serious classes, but.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like Jacob is having much more of a school-based experience than I was, where I like barely like cared about anything school related because none of it mattered and it was all super easy. Other than like, well, so like, is your Korean class the same way, or is that actually like taught and like?
No, they teach in class, like, and you have to participate.
that's,
like it's like an actual class.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And is it through the school or is it a separate thing? Because like for
Yeah,
us,
it's
we had
at
like
the school.
there's like a Korean language school that was like partnered with Yonsei that's like right next to Yonsei
Okay.
or like right by our dorm. So like it was a little detached from the school itself. Like you could go and just take classes
Yeah.
at that Korean language institute and not have to be like part of the school or anything.
Yeah, I
Um,
think they have something similar, but no, it's in the International Hall on campus.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
so I think it's like an official thing. Like my Korean textbook says like Sungyun Kwan Korean.
Okay.
Like they like made their
Yeah,
own
I don't
book
think
and
ours
And
did.
you're
program
taking
and
it
I
with
could be wrong though.
You're taking it with other like foreign exchange students as well, right? So
yeah, there's no Koreans in class,
Yeah.
obviously.
obviously,
They're not gonna be taking an intro to Korean in
Like,
college.
Yeah, that'd be
You're
really
Korean.
funny. I actually, funny thing
Like,
enough,
I
I
got to college
considered.
without knowing my
I-
own language.
Funny thing enough, I actually considered taking a class called Understanding English Pronunciation because I think that would be really
Just to
funny.
see
just to see
Yeah,
how
see if
like
they'd
other
A,
people
let me in the
will
class, or B,
conceive our
if I'd
language.
learned something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently they
Um,
learn about the American accent and the British accent, so it'd be really funny if I could learn to speak with a British accent by
British-
taking
The
that class.
British accent.
But
But yeah, no, like so I took one technical class and that was a mobile programming class. But it was and like I honestly don't really remember how the teacher lectured. I
Yeah.
know we just had like 3 projects that we had to do, like 3 programs basically throughout the semester.
wow, only 3.
So there
Yeah.
was homework, and there were tests as well. But yeah, there was just like they're like throughout the semester work on 3 different like programs and then take tests or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the only like technical thing. How much of it is your language? Like how much of the yeah, because that's how it was for us. It was more than half actually. Because our Korean class was 4
Mine's
hours
6.
a day, 4 days a week.
Oh, wow.
What?
So yeah, yours was way more intensive than
It was
mine.
half of the day.
Because mine is 3 hours a day, twice a week.
Okay, that makes more
Okay.
sense.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
that sounds like more
No,
like
yeah.
regular college.
Actually, wait, did I? Am I might be getting it wrong. Was it really 4 hours?
4 I mean
It
4
wasn't-
hours makes
it was
sense
either-
for a class, honestly.
I think because it's a language class.
Yeah.
Like you need to be doing it a lot to learn. I think it was 4 hours a day, 3 days or 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. But that's one of the reasons why I didn't take anything like that grueling, because I knew that would be a lot of what I had to work on.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, other than that, I took tennis and Korean music history, which were both easy as hell.
Yeah,
I
credit
should take a
classes.
class like that, Korean music history. That sounds
But I
hilarious.
mean, like,
It
how
was-
how are you? Do you know most of the stuff in the Korean class already, or
oh yeah, like I
yeah.
I
It's, like,
do
super
learn new
basic?
stuff. Like I'm there learning for like vocabulary. Like I'm learning a ton of new words, which
Yeah.
is good because like the thing is I know all the like intro grammar stuff, but I don't have that like vocabulary that's supposed to be your
Yeah.
foundation to move
Yeah.
forward. So I
Yeah.
think it's good that I am in this class. But
Yeah,
like
it
when it
probably
comes
would've been
time for
hard
like
to
a
go to.
when it comes time for like a quiz or something, I always get 100 on them. So
No,
like
yeah. It probably would have been
class
hard
is
for
a
you to go
cakewalk
to the
for
next
me.
level, not having that base
yeah,
of like
Yeah.
just words, just like that
Yeah.
vocabulary.
yeah, so like
even if
I'm
you knew the
basically the
grammar.
kid that like just knows everything already, and I'm kind of just
Breezing
strengthening my base. Yeah, I'm just breezing along basically. I just
that's
sit
good.
and
I
listen
mean,
in
how much
class and
how much
all I have to
Korean do you
do.
actually use in your day at this point?
Not
Not a ton.
a ton, only
Probably,
because like
because you
nobody's
live with
patient. Well, nobody.
Internationals.
Yeah, I live with international students, and also I'm not. Nobody's like really patient enough to let me like think before I can speak. Like I can't like think in Korean, so I can't just like blurt stuff out.
Yeah, I think that's the
So-
hardest part of learning a new language is you have to
the
be able to
biggest-
like do it on the fly.
Well, the biggest example of this, funny enough, is like whenever I go to 7-Eleven, they want to ask if I have a plastic bag. I have to think about process what they say, and they immediately, do you need a plastic bag? They're like, sure. They're like forcing me to speak English. I was like,
Yeah, because they'll just ask you in English.
yeah.
Okay,
It's-
because
I don't know.
Yeah, so they're definitely trying to be more accommodating in terms of speaking English.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, for me it was like like, and one of the reasons why I retained almost none of it was, one, it was, I lived with international students and I was hanging out with international students all the time, so we were just speaking English. And then two, whenever we went out, it was always in a group and there was always someone much more fluent, so they always just handled all of the actual speaking.
Oh, that's actually me.
So-
That's
so like
me
what-
and my
so like
friends. I
me-
usually have to.
like you guys are like my lifeline when we go there next week. Like I have no idea how to.
You'll be fine. Like I said, like Jacob just said, you can just get by with English for the most part.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, for
almost
me, it's
everyone
like-
knows enough to get by.
For our group, it's either me or my roommate Ian who have to do the Korean speaking, and
Yeah. See, that wasn't
So-
me. So, like, I never really got to practice at all.
Mm.
Because, like, whenever we went as a big group to restaurants or whatever, like, they would order and, like, stuff like that.
I mean, I guess I have a
Yep.
bit of practice. Like sometimes when I go to like K-Town or whatever, and like I don't know why, but sometimes like the people, whenever I go to like a restaurant or whatever, they speak to me in Korean, and I'm so like "감사합니다." Like that's all I know how to say. Like that's all I know how to say. Like "안녕" and "감사합니다." Like
Which is
like,
something you don't even really
"안녕하세요."
need to say very often because they're not, like...
They're not too
you
strict
don't-
about,
it's
like,
not like the
manners.
U.S. where you say thank you all the time. Like,
Don't,
they,
dude,
they don't really care.
Don't worry about it though. A lot of international students I know,
No,
it took them like weeks to learn how to say "안녕하세요."
seriously.
Yeah.
Like I never took formal like Korean classes, and I don't know how to say "안녕하세요."
Yeah, but like it's just, I mean, it is a hard word. It's a lot of
I guess.
So-
Is it-
Oh, just to say hello,
Well, it's
but-
a lot of syllables, and like you technically like you kind of mush some of them together. Like the
Yeah,
ha isn't very prominent.
안녕하세요. Yeah. I think that's the hardest
like,
part of learning Korean
yeah.
is that like the sounds that you make aren't direct equivalents to English.
'Cause
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you actually enunciated all of it, it would be 안녕하세요. But
Yeah,
like
nobody
no one
says
speaks
that.
when
like
you
that.
say it, it's like 안녕하세요. Like
Yeah,
and there's a lot of words like that. Like, you kind of just have to. You sound weird if you actually enunciate everything,
Yeah.
which you have to figure out
Yeah.
how to say certain things.
where have you been sightseeing?
But I mean, that's all languages.
where have you been?
sightseeing. Most recently, I went to a couple weeks ago. I went to Gwanghwamun for the first time.
Where's
So
that?
that's where there's like the. It's
That's
like
where the King Sejong statue is.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
is
the
that the
King
thing?
Sejong
That's the picture
statue.
I have up now. It's like this guy reaching out with a book or something. Who is
Yeah,
this
that-
guy?
yeah, that's King
He
Sejong. He
created
invented
Hangul.
Hangul. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's that. There's like a if you go over a little bit more, there's also like a statue of like one of the great admirals.
Yeah.
My uncle told me to go see that. Apparently, there's a museum under there. So when you guys are here, I'd like to go there with you guys.
Okay, we'll see.
Isn't that where the turtle ship is?
A what?
Maybe.
I think that's where the turtle ship is.
It's like
What's
an
the-
admiral statue with these fountains that are like spraying water and stuff.
Yeah,
And
I
then there's
see it.
also Gwanghwamun, which actual like Gwanghwamun itself, the gate.
Is that like
Which
the
I didn't go
palace
inside
or
of there just because I was
something?
walking
Or-
around. Well, it's not really a palace. It's a gate. It's a huge gate.
But what is
There's
the
a
gate
turtle ship
guard?
in front of the
Like
admiral.
moon means gate. So
what's the
I don't
gate
know what
for?
Gwanghwa means, but yeah, I don't know. There might be a palace in there. I'm not knowledgeable on it because again, I only just walked around to take a walk and ended up there. Like I got off at like a random subway stop.
That's
and
where.
just,
Wait, you're talking about Gwanghwamun?
yeah, Gwanghwamun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where Gyeongbokgung Palace is, like the big palace.
Oh, Gyeongbokgung Palace is in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that must be huge then, because I can walk
Yeah.
there from my house, and Gwanghwamun is a little bit far on subway. So like to go around to the other side, okay. Yeah, I haven't been to Gyeongbokgung yet, so
Is that
I've
like
only
the-
been to Gyeonggyonggung Palace, which is literally right next to where I live.
Okay.
So yeah, like the two like most famous like historical sites near me are Gyeongbokgung and then obviously Sungkyunkwan, which is like the original like university.
Yeah.
I went there. What was
Wait, so Nate, did you just go to the that courtyard in there with the trees that are like have like
Where all
stones
the,
built
like,
inside of
ancient-
them and stuff?
Yeah, like all the ancient buildings are and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just went to like the historical part of
Okay, yeah.
the school. Like,
So yeah, it's really interesting the area I lived in. Apparently it's pretty famous. Like
Really? Why?
I don't know. Apparently it's just a famous neighborhood because like for example, like a few weeks ago, freaking Kang Ho Dong was just filming outside my
Yeah,
house.
please
Like,
explain this story
what the
to
hell?
us,
but
like everyone.
But Kang Ho-dong just films outside of random houses for the.
Isn't he doing
like,
something with Sakura?
The show where you eat with like random people in different
Yeah.
neighborhoods.
So,
Yeah, okay,
Sakura
that's
from
probably,
Iceland is on that
that's
show.
probably what it was, because like I just was walking home and I was like, there's all these vans and people standing around, and I was like, what is happening? And then I just look over to the place across the street from the house, and then I just see Kang Ho Dong with this huge like bright red jacket on. And there was a girl, but I couldn't see her good enough because there was like too many people.
Yeah,
in the
it
way.
was probably
Maybe it's
was it
Sakura.
like, can we eat together or something?
Yeah.
Something like that.
No, I think
Maybe-
it was someone who had like long black hair. That's all I
Okay,
could
if it's
see.
long, then yeah, it's someone else because Sakura has
Um,
short hair now, and it's like
Yeah, like I couldn't see who was with him, and honestly, it might not have even been him, but I'm pretty sure it was because I don't know anybody else who looks exactly
who looks
just
like
him, so-
Kang Ho Dong's easily
Yeah, like he's
recognizable.
pretty
Definitely.
he's pretty distinct, so I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah.
him. Also, there's like a ton of people like laughing really loudly, so I think it was him. There's at least some kind of comedian.
Okay.
And there was like a billion people outside the house. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was like, so I kind of just like slowly walked by, like kind of just rubbernecking, like what is going on?
Trying to get a glimpse of Kang Ho Dong. You couldn't get
Yeah.
a clear look at him other than that?
Yeah, like I probably could have walked over to the crowd of people, but I didn't want to be a spectacle because I'd be the only random white guy. That
You're the
like,
only
what are you doing?
like what?
But then you could be on the TV.
Yeah, maybe they'll put
That
you
would
on the
be
TV.
funny,
You
but-
could have eaten with Sakura, man.
That would be really funny, but like, hey, let's bring this American guy on.
I mean, aren't there entire like variety shows where their entire premise is they bring like random like foreigners like to think like that's a thing like
Oh,
they bring like
probably.
foreign exchange students. Yeah, I've seen clips.
Yeah,
Of it.
it's so strange, but yeah, like it's right next to like I live in the dorm and it's just right across the street in this weird like in Seoul there's a lot of random buildings that you don't really know what they're for. It was like kind of like that. It was like a
They
it
just
almost
look
looked like
important.
I know it wasn't a hotel, but it kind of looks like one with like a parking lot like right underneath like a huge like on right underneath like the first floor of the building or whatever.
Mhm.
So they were like just like standing in the parking lot like filming. So
Okay.
yeah, that was interesting. And then on Friday I went to the Han River just because I was bored and didn't want to do homework.
And Jade told
So-
you to.
Yeah, I was
you
like,
do the
Jay,
beer
where
and
can I go
chicken?
to take a walk? No, I didn't do beer and chicken, but I just rented a bike and just rode like a bike for like 8 kilometers or so. So that was really nice.
Speaking of beer and chicken, how
but, oh my
much has your
God.
diet changed in
My diet?
going to Korea?
I eat a lot more.
should
I eat
be
a lot more
completely
rice, obviously. Yeah, it's completely different, really. I haven't stopped how much I eat McDonald's.
Wait, you eat
I was gonna
McDonald's
say, have
still
you been
in-
eating?
I eat
That was
McDonald's
the
probably
one
at
thing
least
I
at
didn't
least
do.
once a week. At least once a week
Only-
I go to McDonald's, I think.
The only like Americanized food I would eat was bagels for breakfast because
Bagels.
Koreans don't have like actual breakfast food.
Yeah,
So
no, they
they'll
don't.
just
'Cause
eat
it's-
they'll just eat like normal
Bowl of
like
rice.
It's all like vegetables
rice
and like
and
like
and,
actual, like, fish and, like,
soup and like
soup, like
kimchi jjigae for breakfast. I'm
Yeah.
like I can't eat kimchi jjigae for breakfast.
I think
what
that's the
I think.
weirdest thing.
Kimchi
Yeah, that's the thing I'd probably have to
like-
get used to is like, their breakfast. Their idea
So,
of breakfast is like way
I-
more like vegetables as opposed to like
but
bagels.
In our dorm they had caribou coffee, so like I just went down there and got a bagel in the mornings usually for breakfast. But yeah, other than that, like I never really ate. I never went to McDonald's.
For
or
me,
any of
it's
that
fine
stuff.
because I don't really eat breakfast anyways.
See,
So-
I'm gonna have to find like the nearest Starbucks or whatever for while we're there, like, close to our
Yeah, or-
Airbnb, because I'm
Yeah.
gonna need something for breakfast.
Just go to like a
yeah, so,
cafe bene or a two le jour or there's a bunch of
Yeah,
those,
Tous
aren't
les
there?
jours or Paris Baguette, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paris baguette. Like
Um,
there's literally like I'm used to this already because there's a bunch of them in New York. So
Oh, you could go to Isaac Toast. That's pretty good for breakfast.
I've heard of Isaac Toast, but I don't think
yeah,
we
there's
have
one
that
in
here.
my neighborhood. It's decent, but like I got something that was cheese and potato, and it was sweet. It's
I
like,
don't
what
mind
the
sweet
hell is
potato.
that?
surprising.
I don't mind. I mean, like,
What was it?
was it like a,
Well, it's
a
not sweet
breakfast item
potato.
or like a
It's just
pastry?
potato. It's
Was it-
potato. Well, it was like toast with with
I was gonna
cheese
say
and
it's
potato.
because but like bread in Korea is sweet.
Yeah, they don't
They
like
don't have
it's
like
so
yeah,
weird.
the
normal
bread that
bread
they
is a
yeah,
dessert.
yeah,
It's a dessert.
yeah, because if you
Bread
ever
is like
been to
cake.
like a Korean bakery, like
that's
all
what
of the
you
bread
got.
there is like
And that
it's like fancy bread.
Yeah.
They don't eat like some
Except-
plain old like white
except
bread.
when we go to Lord, we need to go to Lord Sandwich.
Oh
'cause
yeah, I haven't been there yet. I keep forgetting.
Well, yeah,
I need
we'll
to
go. We're
visit.
going 100%.
We're just
Best
gonna
BLT
go, yeah.
I've ever had in my life.
Yes, let's do it. Let's go on Saturday when Andrew comes. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, we
Anyways,
can go to Shincheon and show you
yeah.
around.
Oh, it's in
You can
Shincheon?
see.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
Cool.
see. Reply 1994's
Oh yeah, yeah.
Campus.
Setting. Yeah.
my campus.
God.
Actually, I
Yeah.
wonder if the Ivies will be in bloom yet. They should be. Maybe, I don't know. How cold is it there yet?
The cherry blossoms are going out of bloom right now. So
Oh, well, I mean, again,
Yeah.
that's good for me because I know my allergies would be fucking terrible. Actually, no, that's the
Really,
thing.
I wanted to see the cherry blossoms.
But you get to
might
see
be
when
able to see a few, but
you'll get to
like,
see when the
they're-
cherry
like,
blossoms
the ones
fade.
near me are turning green.
That's true. I will be seeing when the cherry blossoms fade. That's
the
sad
perfect
as hell.
IOI stand. He doesn't see
I'll
cherry
just-
blossoms.
I just
he
need to
sees
find a. I just need to find a road with them, and then you guys film me from behind, all sad, and then we put this
Da, 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 da.
play when the cherry blossoms fade. Like,
What the hell?
just make a sad video for Twitter.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. But I mean, anything else that you, I guess, want to share about like living in Korea compared to like Wayland, New York?
Yes. Yeah, New York is, yeah, especially my tiny town. It's like I keep having the culture shock of the fact that I need to like wait for so long to cross the street.
Wait.
Like where I live, like I can literally like most like 9 times out of 10 I can actually cross the street without even looking. 'Cause-
Oh God, I can't do that around here.
Yeah, like that's like only on the main road do I have to look both ways and not expect a car or whatever. It's just yeah,
You
it's
have to
different living
look-
in a city.
Yeah, you have to look out when you're on the sidewalk.
On the
like you were
sidewalk,
saying,
yeah, because there's
'cause
freaking
people are ridiculous.
Scooter guys will
Motorized
literally
scooters just drive on the sidewalk,
at like 30 miles an hour on the sidewalk. They'll literally do
Yeah.
that.
and they'll just hit people.
I'm used to. I'm
Like I
used
said, I
to
think-
all this.
They do that in New York City. They ride
Like
scooters
no, like
on the
people
sidewalk.
on bikes are just.
I feel like you'd get
People on bikes are insane. Like that's a thing. Like when school's out, there's just like gangs of like again like high schoolers that like go around on their bicycles. Like they literally go on like their bicycles through like 34th Street,
okay.
like doing fucking wheelies, and like they're like literally like running through like hundreds of people that are like when it's cross and everything. They go right through. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like don't mess with.
Well, at least
like
it's
nothing's
not- at
worse
least
than
it's
like
not
New York City
giant.
like
It's-
children.
at least it's not giant motorized scooters that can go like 50 miles an hour. Like what
Yeah.
the hell? Like
Yeah.
it's literally
messed up.
ridiculous. Like I think
Yeah, it's
at
basically-
least
it's
once
like
a
a
day
motorcycles
I'm
were
like
just
this
driving
close
on
from
the-
being hit by a motorcycle.
Wait, seriously? When?
Like every day, I'll be
Every
walking on
day,
the
it
sidewalk
just
and
happens
they'll
all
just
the time. It just happens. Like I said,
Yeah.
someone I was studying abroad with that like broke her arm or something
Seriously?
because she got hit by one.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
It's
Law-
it's
lawsuit-
ridiculous.
I guess lawsuit. I mean, you're gonna
That's
make,
not a lot. I mean,
you can make decent bank
he
off
probably
of it.
just ran off.
No,
and then they
and
never
from
found
what I've
him.
heard in
They'll
Korea,
just run.
like from what I've heard in
Yeah.
Korea, if you go to court, the foreigner almost always loses.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I'm just not gonna fuck with that.
Or no,
Yeah,
see,
overall-
just be on a motorized scooter, running into people that are on motorized scooter.
Hell no. Like also they say like if you're like a foreigner and you get in a fight in Korea, just run. Just get out of there. Don't even bother with it.
Because I mean, like, aren't a lot of places
Yeah.
in like Gangnam have like whatever the Korean equivalent of the mafia is? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Like Korean Yakuza or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Probably. I haven't seen any gangsters, I don't think. Although my roommate told me a story, they
It's-
met this guy this dude who had like literally tattoos all over his face. And I was
Yo,
like,
that's a
"He's
gangster."
Probably a gangster.
He's either a gangster or he's a fuckboy. I mean, you
He's
can't
either
tell
a
the
gangster,
difference.
fuckboy, or an ex-gangster, or both.
Or gang, or both. So.
Yeah. So overall, I've been getting by pretty good. The only like real difficulty is the my statistics class is ridiculous. So yeah.
You need to go to a concert already, dude.
Dude, I know. I need to
Dream
figure out how to
concert.
pay for that stuff. Like my
Dream
although
concert.
yeah, I need to get tickets for that actually. Cuz my I think I can start putting money in a bank account now cuz I'm pretty sure my student ID is a bank card.
They
So
are.
I'm wondering
yeah.
if they
Wait, what?
like literally already made me an account and I can
Your-
just put money on
your-
it.
Your student ID is a debit card.
It's a debit card and a
okay.
T-Money card.
Oh,
So-
that's convenient.
Yeah, like once my current T-Money card is empty, I'm just gonna start filling
Ours wasn't a T-Money card. Ours was just a debit card.
Yeah, ours is
That's
They
nice.
might
T-Money
be
and
T-Money
debit.
cards now. This
Yeah.
was 6 years ago.
Was there T-Money back when you were there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I still have mine. I think mine still. I'm gonna see if mine still works. 'cause I
Your
wanna
T-Money
see-
card
I
still
think
has
there's
money
still
on
that'd be
it.
so cool.
There's still
That'd be so
money
cool.
on it, and I still have it. So I want to see if it still works. I
Yeah,
doubt it.
I
But
wonder. Yeah,
it
well,
might.
Yeah, bring
there
it
might
with
be
you.
an expiry date on like the currency, but like, worth a shot. I mean, so I'm excited now. I can't wait. I can't believe we're actually fucking going there in like 4 days.
I can't wait to show you guys Korea, especially Andrew who
think
hasn't
I
been there
have
yet.
I've never
Like-
left the confines of North America, so this is literally
Yeah,
me
yeah.
like leaving my comfort zone, like literally. You still have it?
Yeah,
Wait, show it to the camera.
pop card.
I don't know how does it look like.
Like the pop card. They're
Yeah,
just
I
like
have the one that
random
just
ass
says
cards.
pop on it. Mine just says pop.
Do they have any like? Are there any like
Yeah.
limited edition T-Money cards that
Yeah,
have like
T-Money.
designs or?
Yeah, so I saw ones in 7-Eleven that have SNSD on it, but it's not T-Money brand.
Oh, it's
So
like a
I
different.
don't know if you have to fill it up at the store or whatever, but
Oh no.
yeah, it's cool.
Because that's like how like with
It doesn't-
with like Metro cards, the Metro cards that have the Supreme logo on it like became like a collector's item essentially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's
I
actually
don't
cool.
See a date on it. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's exciting though.
I
So
still have
like,
my ID too.
can you get back into the campus? It's like, oh, okay.
That'd be really funny if they just don't deactivate them.
Yeah.
So you can just
Oh
go
yeah,
into the
there's even
library.
like a credit card stripe and everything. That's actually cool. Why did not? I wish I had that where
Yeah.
it has like the
Me
literally
too.
like
Mine-
a credit card chip
my-
and everything.
Yeah.
My card just has a barcode on it. My student ID
Oh,
from
really?
from the US, yeah. It's like a student ID
from the
from high
US.
school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's
So-
been Jacob's update on his life in Korea. If you have any other questions for him,
Yep.
definitely leave it in the comments or just ask
Oh,
us
damn.
on Twitter.
It
What?
says it was valid. It was valid until January 2019.
Damn, so
We should have
close.
gone earlier.
So close.
We should have gone earlier. Oh no. Rip.
My student ID was valid until.
Anyway, yeah, I guess this is a good topic to close out before we do our big trip to Korea and Japan. I don't know about you
Yep.
guys, but I'm hype. I can't wait to blow a bunch of money. I already got like my
Yes.
yen
I'm
and
gonna
my
buy so many
won.
video game related things in Japan and so much K-pop related things in Korea.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
That's gonna be an awesome trip. So hopefully a memorable one.
Gotta go to the
take us-
Norebang.
Yep.
Oh, 100%. We're going to Norebang Friday.
Yes, let's do it
And then also when Andrew gets here at some point.
on Saturday.
Okay, I guess we can close it out. So Jacob,
Okay.
do your spiel.
Yep. So, anyways, thanks for listening. If you liked everything, subscribe. If you didn't like something, let us know. Maybe it's reasonable. Maybe it's not. Probably not. But no, I'm kidding. But anyways, yeah. Anyways, check us out. Join Discord. It's mucho lit. That's the best way to get a hold of us. And yeah, check us out next week as well.
Stay worldwide. I don't know. I'm thinking like Pitbull. Pitbull calls himself Mr. Worldwide, and we're going international. So I don't know.
Stay throbbingly pitbull.
Stay throbbingly
Yes.
Pitbull. I mean, I guess if there's a throbbing
Throbbingly
Pitbull right near you, like that's probably not a good sign. You're either gonna get died
Yeah,
or
no,
get
that's-
humped to death. See you guys. I just think it was funny the way Ji-Yoon sold just getting shot with the arrow. It looked like she got like shot
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a gunner. And no, I had the idea of like somebody on the internet needs to make a gif of Ji-Young shooting the
orc.
arrow, and then it just cuts to Boromir in Fellowship of the
Boromir
Ring
getting
getting
shot,
shot
yeah,
with the arrow. It's just like a
Yeah.
perfect like.